presents Monday Night Baseball. American League West, the Oakland A's, under manager Billy Martin, hoping Billy Ball bounces better for them against the White Sox of Chicago, another prime contender in the American League. And we could have a lot of fireworks tonight. The oldest ballpark in the Major Leagues, Comiskey Park in Chicago, the season premiere of ABC's Monday Night Baseball. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Gillette, makers of Atra and Just Whistle razors. Gillette's best shave for both of you. By Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers from coast to coast. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. It's been a hot, muggy day in Chicago, everybody. But we've got something tonight we think you're going to enjoy as two of the prime teams in the American League West square off for the first time in 1982. I'm Keith Jackson, and as we look at the standings in the American League Western Division, I think you'll note immediately the biggest news is that Kansas City has moved into first place. The White Sox have been on a road trip, losing 8 out of 9. The Oakland A's have been at home, losing 7 out of 10. So obviously they both have been struggling here in the early month of June. But as the year goes on, we think this 1982 baseball season is going to get tougher and closer and meaner. And it should be a lot of fun as we bring you Monday Night Baseball all the way through the month of August.
The Bagby's and the Walshes, Ed Walsh Sr. and Jr. They were the other two families to pair, father and son, for more than 200 career victories, Keith. And you were around to see them.
Rickey Henderson comes to the plate now. Henderson has become the big story for the Oakland A's in this 1982 season. This youngster has failed to get on base in just 6 ball games so far this year. And he has just been tearing them up with 54 stolen bases. Steve Trout is in there with his first pitch for a strike. Look at this on Henderson.
That shows you what a complete player he is. He has a chance to break Babe Ruth's Major League record for bases on balls at his current pace. He'd walk 191 times this season. Base stealing, oh.
Trout goes to 1-1. Only 3 catchers have been able to throw out Rickey Henderson this year. Butch Weiniger being one, Gedman another, and Parrish another. So only 3 catchers have thrown him out at second base. He has been picked off the other times, or has been picked off going down to third. Now, Rickey Henderson, at his current pace, is very much in the hunt for Lou Brock's record.
And that's what he really wants. 54 bags stolen in 55 games.
The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes as Steve Trout delivers, and he shoots it to the right side, bounces off for Shorrock. Second baseman Bernazard throws it behind the pitcher trying to cover at first base, and Henderson is long since down the right field line and aboard at first base.
And we have just been joined by Bob Uecker in the booth. Superb poise in your interview with Billy, Bob.
Henderson, with his speed, puts so much pressure on the people trying to make the defensive play into the infield.
Boy, he really does, Keith. He's just unbelievable. You know, if you can pitch to him, make him hit the ball, normally you're all right. There's an errant play by the White Sox, who have been having trouble. I just got a chance to watch the Oakland A's in a 3-game series against Milwaukee. Henderson went 1 for 12 in that series, Keith, but he walked 5 times and stole 5 bases.
Well, your people, the Milwaukee Brewers, just pummeled them.
Yeah, I kind of disagreed with Billy on the pitching staff situation about not having tired arms, because they certainly looked tired in that last series.
Here is a man who has been hurt for the Oakland A's, but who is back now, healthy, and he, as much as Henderson, is a key to the success of this ball club. Dwayne Murphy.
Keith, you know what I find so interesting about Murphy? The fact that he hits in the number 2 spot. He's a young hitter, but he has to take so many pitches with Henderson on base. Many times he finds himself nothing in 2, getting only 1 pitch to hit, 1 chance to hit a pitch.
It goes in the books as a base hit for Henderson, the ball carrying off the leg of Tom Shorrock, the first baseman. And it's strike 1 to Murphy from Steve Trout. They play on good old Mother Earth here at Comiskey Park in Chicago. That makes some difference when you're running the bases.
They've done a great job with this ballpark. Boy, they have really made some outstanding improvements here.
The strike one pitch to Murphy as Henderson wiggles around over at first base, teasing Steve Trout, trying to distract him. Murphy hitting 188, but he has been getting the key base hit because he has 31 runs batted in on his 32 hits. That's production.
That's the tough thing I was talking about for him, Keith, the fact that he has to take so many pitches and only hits one strike more often than not with Henderson on.
Right. Big Cliff Johnson is in the on-deck circle. Henderson edges off first. He is not going. The ball is hit off the pitcher's glove. Sure, a second baseman going the other way. Retreats in time to make the play. That's a good play by Tony out of second base. He had almost, in making his move to cover at second base, had taken himself out of position. But he recovered well. Henderson moves up to second base.
One more look at that last pitch hit by Murphy, back up the middle, but deflected by Trout and Bernazard with a nice play on the other end to retire Murphy at first, with Henderson winding up at second.
Now here is Cliff Johnson coming to the plate. He has 5 home runs on the season for the Oakland A's.
This was a man who particularly came over to me earlier and said, please express not only my sympathies, but every last one of us on the Oakland A's, and I'm sure the White Sox too, over the tragic, untimely death of a great gentleman, umpire Lou DeMuro, struck down by an automobile and killed today, right near his hotel, walking near it, and of course leaves a wife and 5 children.
Henderson with a big bounce off second base. He has been successful 16 times in 19 tries going to third. Of course, Johnson standing up there, a right-handed hitter. He's big as the side of a house, and it forces Pudge Fisk to look around for a place to throw the ball.
You know, you have a guy like Henderson hitting in front of you, you're going to get so many fastballs to hit. The number 2 guy, the number 3 guy. Although with Johnson, more often than not, they try to throw him off speed stuff, down low and inside anyway. But Henderson, you know, when I watch him at second, Keith, I sometimes think he bothers a hitter when he starts jumping around out there. He gets a tremendous lead, and he's got great acceleration that first step.
Yeah, the hitter doesn't know whether he's going or not. Does he have to protect, or can he take, or what? Especially a man who runs on his own, and apparently Henderson does run some on his own.
Now, Cliff Johnson is having a problem now with the home plate umpire, Nick Brimmigan, as to where he can stand in the box. There he is. He's more often than not, this guy is out of the box. He might stand
out
in.
right there.
He is. You've got it. The white line, the reason for the white line is to touch part of it. Now Johnson will come up and get... Here comes... I figured this would happen sooner or later with Johnson, because every team complains about him, and Billy, of course, gets upset too.
Well, he isn't touching a whole lot of that white line. Henderson back on his stomach at second base.
That's another Henderson trait, the head-first slide. Dangerous. Risk injury that way.
A lot of clubs don't like you to do it hard because of the fact you may injure the shoulder, upper arm area. Look at the lead he's got at second.
He's going. It's throw. Safe. Out. Slid over the bag.
He overslid the bag, and that's when he got the tag.
Here it is again, the great jump by Henderson, the throw by Fisk right on target. Now here's the head-first slide he was in, but coming past the bag and trying to hook it with the back leg, he comes off and is tagged by Rodriguez. Here it is again, the head-first slide. Across the bag he came, and Rodriguez made the tag.
Of all the parts in a human body, though, the hands may be the most fragile, and you see the enormous impact of that left hand as it hits the bag with the spikes there. It's so easy to get yourself hurt.
Exactly.
Ground ball to the shortstop by Johnson. Throw by Allman across in time, and the side's retired. So Rickey Henderson does get on, does provide some excitement for the crowd here in Chicago. After a half inning of play, we have no score.
I've been comparing the exciting new in television space game Star Strike with one of the most popular Atari games, Asteroid. Star Strike has moving images that make the game appear three-dimensional. Asteroids doesn't. And Star Strike features our most exciting visual effect, total destruction of a planet. This is what the other game offers, which is why, after Star Strike, Asteroids left me rather flat. Star Strike, new for Intellivision from Mattel Electronics.
The Yankees' Willie Randolph, he does it all. Pro photographer Fred Conrad, he catches it all with his Canon AE1 program. More advanced to capture Willie's sheer grace at second base. The AE1 program, more camera to follow Willie all the way home.
Hey, can I try your Canon? Sure, it's simple.
In sun or shade, it's a snap to use. The Canon AE1 program, so advanced, it's simple and more of both.
Howard, and I think the whole staff, the A staff, they pitch from behind so often. Their base on balls ratio to strikeouts is unbelievable, unbelievably bad. He throws a lot of off-speed stuff. He pitches the corners, and that's the reason. He pitches from behind too much.
Now, LaFleur up there. Excuse me, Howard. I'm sorry, Keith. LaFleur has 56 strikeouts compared to 56 hits. He's hitting .281, not bad at all. But he spent extra time, as you watched the second strike there, today being worked on by Charlie Lau, the brilliant batting coach who left the Yankees, seemed on his way to Kansas City, but wound up here with his old friend La Russa.
That pitch is high and away. Well, they're on LaFleur in Chicago, too. No question about it.
He's played bad, Keith. Not only his hitting has suffered, but his outfield play has left a lot to be desired. He's been playing very bad.
That's a bouncer to the shortstop for Fred Stanley. One out. Fred the Chicken Stanley, one of the nice young men in this game, getting the call at shortstop for Billy Martin's Oakland A's tonight. To make the point on Rick Langford, he has been touched for 8 home runs in his last 4 starts. Of course, that bunch of bombers from Milwaukee really did a tap dance on Oakland.
He didn't get a chance to work in that series, Keith. A few others did, but he missed it.
Yeah. Milwaukee, of course, suddenly hot under what was called the interim managership of Harvey Keene. But it's not interim, is it, you?
No, Harvey has the job if he wants the job, Howard, and of course, hopefully he'll stay healthy for Milwaukee.
There's a little looper out into left field, and the catch is made as Henderson had him played just about perfectly. Bernazard is out for the second out, and now coming to the plate, Steve Kemp.
With the physical hardships that Harvey has undergone, including amputation of a leg, do you think he'll be able to stand up to the rigors of the job?
Well, he was more than excited and more than happy to take the job when the Brewers general manager, Harry Dalton, offered Harvey the job first. He took it gladly, and his health is good. Howard, he looks good, and of course, 4 wins in a row. I don't think he came out of the dugout but once in that whole series in Oakland. That helps. You know, you're getting 10 runs a game. It takes a lot of pressure off.
What's the story on Steve Kemp when he first came over? In his first ball game, I guess the first time up here at Comiskey Park, he hit one in the seats, and he hasn't put one in the seats since.
That's the one thing they're a little concerned about, Keith, the lack of power from Kemp. This is a lot bigger ballpark than Detroit, talking about the right field area. Right field in Detroit, a home run haven for a left-handed batter, but here, you look at the dimensions, 352 down both lines and 402 to straightaway center, and they have shortened the center field area. That's a temporary fence out there.
Only 3 have been hit in there, by the way. Luzinski hit one. Believe it or not, LaFleur hit one.
Wearing somebody else's uniform, wasn't he, or wasn't he? Did he hit it as a member of the White Sox?
Yes, he hit it this year. According to Eddie Einhorn,
that's a reach and a half out there. That ball is hit deep by Kemp, going deep to center, going back to the wall, and making the catch is Dwayne Murphy. He got up in the wind, and it seemed to hang for a moment, and Murph went and got it. So he rode it a long way, but the White Sox are turned away. No score after 1. Back after a word from our local stations and a message on behalf of Major League Baseball.
The trials and triumphs of Tammy Wynette on 2020 Thursday. From News 13 tonight, the possibility of a garbage strike looms for Las Vegas on Thursday. More on this and other stories at 11 on News 13 Late.
Come to where the action is. Sam's Town Racing Sportsbook on Boulder Highway in Nellis. Watch your favorite teams on the widescreen satellite television. Follow the scores as they come in on the traveling leaderboard. There's football, baseball, boxing, and horse racing. You name it. Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall has it all. And the Racing Sportsbook is the liveliest, friendliest place around. So make Sam's Town your town. The odds are you'll love it.
The music of Journey, Monday night at 9:30.
Ted Williams. You know, over the years, the All-Star Game has provided me with many thrills. This is the 13th consecutive year that baseball fans have voted to select the All-Star teams. You can help choose the starting lineups for the All-Star Game in Montreal on July 13th by voting in this year's election. Ballots are free at retail stores featuring an All-Star display and at major and minor league parks. Balloting ends July 4th, so be sure to get out and vote.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
For the Oakland A's, as we go to the top of the second inning, the middle of the order, Tony Armas, the right fielder, and the number 4 man of the order, DH Jeff Burroughs, the number 5 man, and Mickey Clutch, the third baseman. Tony Armas coming off injury now, hitting at .226, 4 homers, and 20 runs batted in. He really hasn't done much in 1982. But over the past 2 seasons, my goodness, 185 runs batted in.
He had a terrible series. Matter of fact, a terrible homestand, that last homestand for the Oakland A's. Armas, he's just missing, Keith. He's not that far off. He's just missing pitches that he should hit. Just another click, and he's going to be there, but he's awful frustrated right now.
Steve Trout comes to him. Down low for ball 1. A very hot day. They were talking about rain early this morning here in Chicago, but then the sun popped out and the temperature just took off. Went up to around 90. Ball 2. The story on Trout's history against the Oakland A's. That's a bouncer to the second baseman, Bernazard, and he throws him out. 1 gone. Here in this ballpark, the way it's been structured, and it is in immaculate condition, but it is quite steep. Once you run off the grass back of home plate and get into the gravel area, it really gets steep. I would imagine visiting catchers more than once the first time around for a season have had a problem with it.
Clete Boyer was talking about the problem looking into the Oakland dugout, getting signs from Billy Martin, Keith. He was talking to Billy before the game, asking Billy if he could get up on the steps where Clete could see the sign, because that's how steeply it is sloped toward the dugout areas.
You see there now, you really got to crane your neck. You'll have a crick after a 3-game series here trying to look across. The dugouts are new. In fact, an awful lot of this old ballpark, the oldest in the major leagues, refurbished and redone, and they're just beginning. The batter is Jeff Burroughs, who had most of his major league career to this point with the Atlanta Braves. Some time in Texas and now in Oakland. He's been used primarily as the DH, and he's up there now with a 3-ball count.
Hard to believe the decline in his career. He's been a huge disappointment thus far with Oakland.
I would imagine Billy, who had him at Texas, probably thought he could jack him up and get him going again.
Well, the one thing that he was really happy about, Keith, was leaving the Texas ballpark for the friendly confines of Atlanta Stadium, a real launching pad. He had so many balls in Texas Stadium that were blown back in the ballpark, the tremendous winds there.
There's a shot into center field for a base hit.
But he just didn't produce the numbers in Atlanta, or since he left Texas, that he had there.
That's the second base hit for the Oakland A's, and Mickey Clutch now, the third baseman, steps in with a rather anemic batting average. He's played only 1 game since coming off the disabled list at the end of May.
He's been injured so many times, Keith. That average is not reflective of this kid's hitting ability. He's a good hitter.
He's also one of those youngsters that has had to learn not only to live or play with pain, but live with it, because he has had 3 operations on his right knee already. He hit that shot into the Chicago dugout, foul. It would seem to me that a guy who's been on the disabled list 11 times in his career and had 3 operations on his knee might think about pharmacy or something else.
Billy likes this guy. He really does. There you see it.
Yep. Interesting.
That's more days than I was active.
Interesting that Keith suggested pharmacy. He's always wanted to be a druggist. That was Jackson's goal in college.
I couldn't pass biology. Pitch is up high to Mickey, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Keith, you know, you look up and down this Oakland lineup. Henderson 262, Murphy 188, Johnson 225, Burroughs. It's not hard to understand why they're playing the way they are or why they're losing the way they are as you look at Billy Martin. They just can't put a lineup together that stays healthy enough and will hit consistently.
That's the poorest team average, I guess, in the league, isn't it? Right now.
Yeah, but you touched on a nerve center when you spoke briefly with Billy before the game. The fact that they're only 6.5 games
That's
out.
a very key point. You betcha. Long way to go.
Pitch is low, blocked by Fisk at the plate.
All he talked about last night, Howard, was opening this series in Chicago and then going on to Toronto and coming back home with a good road trip.
1 out, 1 on, and a 3-1 count on the batter. And Trout now puffing and puffing, looking in to get his sign. That's foul. Off the foot at the plate. Davy Lopes is in the on-deck circle. Here's Davy. So many years in the Dodger infield. So many. Happy to go to Oakland.
So many years, one of the real leaders of the Dodgers. Now you talk to him about the Dodgers, and he just smirks.
Runner goes. Pitch is rolled down the third base line, but it's after it caromed off his foot. So Mickey Klutz now has banged 2 of them off his puppy.
He's trying to DL it again.
Yeah, he sure is.
Billy has had so many different lineups, Keith. They played the youngster, Tony Phillips, and he made some very critical errors in key situations, and Billy said that Fred Stanley is going to be the shortstop now and try to get these things straightened out. He had Wayne Gross playing at third. He's got Johnson today playing at first base, who is normally the DH.
Well, when they traded Picholo over to Milwaukee, they were alternating. Billy was alternating Stanley and Peach at the shortstop position. That's popped up on the right side. The first baseman, Pashorek, coming over with Fisk to watch it go back in the seats. And it messed up somebody's popcorn sack.
There's the great man, inverted his numbers from Boston. No longer 27, but now 72. One of the solid men of this sport.
He really is. He's a very steady influence on this young pitching staff, Howard. They've been taking their lumps lately, and if anybody can get them straightened out, well, this guy can do it. He can do it.
You know what happened? La Russa had to move Lamar Hoyt and Dennis Lamp into the starting lineup. That reduced his bullpen. Salome Barojas can't be pitched every day, and that's where they've been having problems in relief.
3-2 pitch to Klutz. He swings and sends a high fly ball to center. And LaFleur going back, makes the catch way out there on the track at about 397 feet.
Told you that kid could put wood on the ball. He's a good hitter.
Boros hangs on at first base, 2 down, and here comes Davy Lopes. And LaFleur that time, if you wonder why people are sort of hooting at him a little bit here in the Chicago area, in the first place, he turned to his right, made his run back, and then wound up having to make a complete circle in order to catch the ball.
He made the catch a lot tougher than it really was. If he gets back and he sets sail for the ball right away, he gets back very easily and turns and makes the catch.
Or had turned the other way at the beginning. Easy up here, though. Pitch to Lopes is hit in the air to left. Steve Kemp is out there and makes the catch. And once again, an Oakland base runner is wasted. So we march along. Middle of the second inning with no score at Comiskey Park in Chicago.
17 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this house with the brush. Then we painted it in just 6.5 hours with a Wagner power painter. This wicker chair took over an hour, but less than 5 minutes with a Wagner power painter. A shutter that took 20 minutes, a power painter finished in only 3. It's a tool so versatile, it has a flexible spray tip and a way to draw paint right from a can. A Wagner power painter. It's the right tool for painting.
If you want to go on vacation...
What now?
And your car doesn't.
Confidence. We install it at Sears.
Sears Vacation and Travel Sale is on. Sears 48 battery is $39.99 with trade-in. Save $20. Heavy-duty RT shocks only $9.99. Warranty for as long as you own your car. Save 25% on SuperGuard 25 belted tires.
At Sears Vacation and Travel Sale, there are even more good deals. And with each one, we install confidence. You can count on Sears.
The Sears National Sporting Goods Sale is happening now. Save on a variety of items, many are best sellers, like our best-selling 10-speed racer and touring bikes at a swift $30 savings. Or our most popular 8x10-foot family-size tent, save $40. And this full-size sleeping bag, now half price. And save $20 on Sears Chromed Weight Bench and 177-pound weight set. The Sears National Sporting Goods Sale, another great event that shows you can count on Sears.
Some hopeful folks out in left field asking for a souvenir or two to be out there. Remember all those days in the minors' uke when you used to go to the various ballparks, and if you hit a particular spot in a sign, you'd get a free diamond ring. Once in a while, you'd had a sign, you'd get a free lunch at Hiram's Diner or something like that.
Set of tires, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Suit of clothes.
There used to be a sign in the old Memphis ballpark. The old Memphis ballpark, Howard, had a $10,000 sign. Had a $10,000 sign up above a laundry.
That's the bull ring out there.
The bull ring. Deposit baseball here. And the bull can do it. Another guy Charlie Lau is working with, an established slugger. But now, refining his hitting.
He's changed his stance a little bit, Howard. He tries to take pitches to right field now, which, of course, is a Charlie Lau influence. But there are other clubs that love to see him hit to the opposite field rather than jerk one in the seat someplace.
Well, during the course of the game, we might be able to hear him explain exactly what Charlie Lau has done.
That's fouled away, and he's behind 0-2. Pashorek is on deck to be followed by Baines. For the White Sox, bottom of the second inning and no score in the ball game.
Really a very decent man, Lazinski. Very generous man. Spends $20,000 for tickets to send kids to a game. He did that for 4 years, one with Philadelphia. Quality guy.
1-2.
I think another thing that's helped him too, Howard, he's accepted the DH role here. It's a perfect situation for him. He doesn't have to play in the outfield anymore.
Yeah, but he laid a little con on somebody when he said, I can see better on television in the clubhouse.
Yeah, they got the monitors in the runway down there.
That's right. It's also very good on cold days and extra hot nights. The bull strikes out on a sharp breaking pitch for the first out of the inning. And the first strikeout of the ball game for Rick Langford. Here comes Tom Pashorek.
There's a lively kid who's absolutely at peace with himself. You can see for yourself the batting average. Articulate guy. Wants to go into communications when he leaves baseball. Last, look at that. Hit over 300. 8 consecutive months.
Ball is well hit. Well hit. But Murphy runs it down. Wind is swirling around. One set of flags is blowing one way, the other set of the flags blowing the other way. It's really hard to read it.
It is. It's kind of tough in this ballpark, Keith, to play because, you said, the winds do swirl. The left field flags are blowing out toward right field. Up on top behind the first base bleacher area, upper grandstand area, they're blowing the other way.
What was the longest home run you ever hit?
Rooftop in Philadelphia. I hit it from the lower deck. I roofed one in Philly.
Harold Baines looks at his inside.
You mean the foul ball against the net?
Baines is another guy that was out working with a bat some extra today. Takes a strike, 1-1.
Keith, you've watched Billy Williams, a former great Cub outfielder, play many, many times. This guy reminds me of Williams so much in his style of hitting. The little hitch that he has before he makes contact.
That's foul. Right side. Well, he won a ball game for him down in Texas.
Hit a 2-runner in Texas on Saturday night. They only got 3 hits in that game, and the home run by Baines won it. You can't blame that on me this time. I'm up here.
He is a fixture in this ballpark. Been around for a long time. You ought to hear him holler.
Andy the Clown. We'll hear him later on.
You can hear him in Peoria when he gets going.
You know, you mentioned Billy Williams' hitch, which he did have, but his quickness,
he was
getting that
real.
When he first reported to the Cubs, Ernie Banks was troubled by that hitch and thought the kid might never be a hitter. Instead, after Banks watched him for a couple of years, he said, "Don't you change a thing."
He was something.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Baines, and that's foul at the plate. Harrell was the first-round pick, 1977, out of the college draft. His 5th anniversary today of his first opportunity to get into professional baseball. There are 2 other first-rounders out there in uniform for the White Sox. Allman, the shortstop, drafted in 74, and Jeff Burroughs back in 69. Slow and bounces away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, the College World Series is going on right now down in Omaha. And an awful lot of talent on display down there. The White Sox, however, today drafted a youngster out of Orlando, Florida. That pitch is high and tight. A catcher named Karkovice, 18 years of age, big youngster at 6'2", 210.
He was a high school player, Keith? Was he a high school player?
High school player out of Orlando, Florida. Bud Fisk, the man waiting on deck, with 2 out. Baines up there now, full count, 3-2. Langford comes to him, and it's shot down the right field line, heading for the corner. It's in there. It should be extra bases. Baines going to second. Here comes the throw. He's in there. So Baines doubles down the right field line.
This is not a bad pitch either by Langford. He went down and got it and ripped it down the right field line. And here is Tony Armas now, one of the best throwing arms in baseball. He's right on target to second, but Baines in sliding with a double.
And Carlton Fisk will get a chance here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. A scoreless ball game. Having a slow start, 1982, says this is the worst problem he's had with the bat in his major league career. Looks, and it's low and away. He's moved back up onto the plate more now than he was earlier in the year.
Yeah, but he retains his capacity to hit when it matters most, as the graphic just indicated. 344. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. Situation we have.
Is hit toward right center with Armas coming over and making the catch for the 3rd out. So the Chicago White Sox get a base runner, but can't do anything with it. And after 2, we're scoreless at Comiskey Park.
If you had a favorite airplane, this one's going to take its place. United 767. Up to 35% more fuel efficient. With a new wing that lifts the plane to cruising altitude more quickly. A new engine, more powerful, yet quieter, inside the plane and out. In the cockpit, computerized instrumentation that shows the pilot more information than ever, including the smoothest, fastest flight line home. United helped design this 767 with wider seats, along twin aisles, 88% of them on an aisle or by a window, and overhead, 50% more room for your carry-ons. If you had a favorite airplane, this one's going to take its place. United 767 this fall.
Steve Trout getting ready to start the 3rd inning. A pitcher who apparently has everything. Here's Carlton Fisk on Steve Trout.
Well, Howard, he's a man that has every pitch
that a hitter can't hit. He has a good running fastball. He has a good slider, a good curveball, an excellent changeup. He can throw the ball in on the right-handers, and he can run the ball away from the right-handers, and he's death for a left-hander. But at times out there, he doesn't seem to be in control of what he's doing, in only that maybe that his concentration is diluted, at least undefined, at times in the game where it should be at its sharpest. So if he could ever harness his mental capabilities, which he's not a dumb person, he's a pretty intelligent young man, and if he could ever combine the mental part of the game along with his physical part of the game, the man would be unbeatable.
Hodge reflecting the capacity for gentility.
He's not in your sports journalism class, is he?
Howard?
Yeah.
He may come.
Jeff Newman, the catcher, number 8 man in the order. Fred Stanley, the shortstop, and Rickey Henderson. 3 scheduled hitters for the Oakland A's. Top of the 3rd inning, no score from Chicago. Newman at 273 on the season has been a reasonably consistent performer.
Keith, I want to bring up a point that Fisk was talking about, the running fastball from Trout. And from the center field angle, you'll get a good shot of it. That's it right there. It'll run away from a right-handed batter. Now, Carlton Fisk is a catcher that demands that this pitching staff work inside. Work inside.
2 strikes on Newman. Shoots it up the middle, base hit.
The pitch was right up the middle, too.
Right up the middle. He wanted it inside. You look at it one more time. 2 strikes on a slider. Fisk wanted the fastball. Trout threw a slider, and he threw it right upstairs. A bad pitch for him, and not inside. But throughout this game, you'll watch Fisk work inside more often, I think, than any other catcher in the American League.
Did you say that quote from Bob Gibson, the pitching coach of the Atlanta Braves? The funniest line I've heard this whole season so far, and everybody's always wondering what they talk about when they go out to the mound. And Gibson says, Fred Stanley up there, Gibson said, if there weren't 15,000 people watching, I'd whop you upside the head. Pitch. He's in there for a strike.
Pitching coaches, I don't care, pitching coach, manager, anybody hates to see a 2-strike pitch hit, and especially a breaking ball. You know, if you're going to throw the breaking ball, get it down and in or around the knees, back him away. But he just made a mistake, and I think another point that Fisk talked about lack of concentration at times.
Goes to first now with Newman over there. You saw Stanley attempting the bunt. At least he had slid up the bat handle and put it in bunting order, taking the pitch for a strike. So let's see what Billy has in mind right here. Swings away, loops it out into left center field, going to drop in there for a base hit. Newman takes a turn. He's going to third. Stanley takes a big turn at first, slips and falls, and gets back safely. So now the Oakland A's have a little something cooking with nobody out and runners at first and third.
People laugh at Chicken Stanley as a hitter, but Billy Martin has always had great faith in Stanley.
They've been so shaky at shortstop, Howard, with Tony Phillips, and Stanley, of course, a steadying force, a veteran player. He's been there many times.
He's a stabilizer.
That base hit extended his hitting streak to 5 games, but that's over a 3-week period.
Well, you saw the number come up a while ago when he was at the plate. 5 hits and 10 trips, now 6 out of 11. Billy ball. Everybody likes to talk about it. It means a lot of things. Fundamentally, it means playing sound baseball, which Oakland's not been doing. But with Henderson up there now, the top of the order, he takes the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. But to further define Billy ball for you, there's a degree of unpredictability practiced by Billy Martin, including such things as suicide squeezes. He's used it 8 times this year. Twice base runners have stolen home. There have been 6 times in which they've been successful in double steal.
I saw him bunt Doug DeCinces out of Baltimore.
That's right.
Henderson looks low, 1-1.
That was the game where they had the infield playing up around that little circle in front of home plate.
It was the greatest bunt attack I've ever seen.
7 times that game.
All safely.
That's right.
Since they had a bad back, Martin knew it. He couldn't bend for the ball.
Well, I tell you, Doug's been playing some great third base with the California.
He certainly has. Nice to see him come back.
Henderson lifts the front foot completely off the ground when he steps into the pitch. See it come way up. He hits it sharp to the third. Play to home, and they've got Newman hung up. Rodriguez runs him down.
Lovely play by Rodriguez. Look at him again. But low pitch. Notice that's not Billy ball. If you're going to go at the low pitch, you got to butcher boy the ball. You know that.
He hit that ball like a bullet. What a play by Rodriguez. I thought he may have went for the double play, Howard, but the way the White Sox have been scoring, there's Jeff Newman, the runner at third. That ball is hit like a bullet, thinking they're going for the double play. Here he comes. They stay out of the double play with Newman in the rundown. The tag finally made by Rodriguez. But I was going to say, the way the White Sox have been scoring, having a tough time scoring runs, this might turn out to be a one-run game.
Well, certainly Jeff is not the fleetest of the fleet down there at third base either. So the White Sox work it well. We've got base runners on first and second now with one out. Stanley is at second and Henderson at first. The batter is Dwayne Murphy.
Normally, Trout is death on left-handed batters. Murphy being the only one in the Oakland lineup tonight.
Murph wearing a patch over a bruise on his forehead. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Murphy. Carlton Fisk going out to have a visit now with Steve Trout and Tony La Russa, who was admitted after he graduated from Florida State University to the Florida Bar. The owners, Jerry Reinsdorf and Eddie Einhorn, are both out of the Northwestern University School of Law. I asked Roland Heeman, the general manager, how it was that a mere journalism graduate from Providence College could be surrounded by so many lawyers.
What did he say?
He said, I'm one now.
That's right. He's dressing like one, I know that.
Well, they can all join the lodge.
I knew he'd say that.
We let a lot of people in.
I didn't know you had to go to school to get into a bar.
Oh, good Lord.
2 balls and 1 strike on Dwayne Murphy, the Oakland center fielder, number 2 man in the order. And he looks at a pitch that breaks way away from the plate, and the count is 3-1. All the outfielders are well back, but sort of bunched up. Murphy can get it down either line. He can run a while. One out. Oakland trying to break on top on the scoreboard. Bouncer is with us close.
If Pachorik charges that ball, Keith, if he takes a couple of steps in, it's a fair ball. He waited and played it behind the bag. Greg Koss, the first base umpire, made the call.
The umpires, and we haven't given you them as you look at other scores in the American League. Toronto playing awfully tough right now, and they broke the Cleveland win streak.
The Yankees, I'll tell you that. Zip, zip, Kansas City, Minnesota. If you look at the other scores in the National League, Bucks leading the Mets.
3 balls and 2 strikes now on Murphy. With runners on second and first for Oakland. No score in the ball game. Top of the 3rd inning. Pitch is bounced over the mound. Bowman. That ball was within an inch of going into center field and producing possibly 2 runs, certainly 1. But as it happened, Fred Stanley had to stop at 3rd, and Henderson's over at 2nd.
Little tapper right back over the mound, and this is a fine play by Allman. From behind the bag at 2nd, that extra little hop, he made the play and threw out Dwayne Murphy. You know, Keith, they talk about Bill Allman not being able to make the routine plays many times, but he makes the plays that normally you shouldn't make, he makes them.
2 out now and 2 on, and the batter is Cliff Johnson. Stanley with a big bluff down at 3rd. Trout steps off the mound. A note on that Toronto's 7-2 win over Cleveland. Willie Upshaw hit 2 homers tonight. He has now hit 3 consecutive home runs and a total 7 on the season.
He is a hard hitter. Let's look at that play again.
Boy, this is really a super play because he had to get a great jump on the ball, and you see Allman way behind the bag at 2nd. He's on the 2nd base side when he makes the throw in plenty of time.
Stanley dancing off 3rd. Pitch to Johnson is swung on. Hit deep into center field, drifting toward right center, and it's in there for a a double as the ball bounces over the fence. Galloping home. Rickey Henderson canters home from second base, and the Oakland A's have jumped on top 2-0 on Johnson's double.
It's a fastball down and away from Trout and from Johnson. There it is right there. He went down and got it and banged it to the gap in right center field. A long run for LaFleur. He just can't catch up to it. The ground rule double bouncing into the Oakland bullpen.
Johnson, a huge man with awesome power when he gets his pitch.
Armas is now at the plate. Rolled out to the second baseman his first time with 2 out. Johnson at second base, and Oakland breaking on top of the ball game 2-0 here in the top of the third. Big swing and a miss, strike one.
Those are things that haven't been happening for the Oakland A's, Keith, coming up with those big 2-out base hits, and a big one there by Johnson driving in a pair.
The ball bounced in front of that center field wall, about 6 feet in front of it. But LaFleur and Baines just could not get to it, and that's hit almost the same place. But this time there's room for Harold Baines for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Oakland A's get 2 runners across the plate, and after 2.5 innings of play, they lead 2-0. Rodriguez, Allman, LaFleur coming for Chicago.
Guess who just blew away Ford's late entry small truck and payload? Chevy S10. Both have equal maximum payload ratings, but S10's doesn't change when you add options. Ford's payload rating does change. Their optional engine cuts off 21 pounds. Air conditioning, 78. Automatic transmission, power steering, and rear bumper bring Ford's payload way down. The same options have no effect on Chevy S10. There's never been a truck like it before.
There's a hungry kind of feeling, and every day it grows. You know there's so much more to you than anybody knows.
Specialist Kevin Crowley is working with tomorrow's technology in the Army's newest tank.
All that you can be.
The laser determines target range and feeds it to the computer.
All that you can be.
It's just incredible.
'Cause we need you in the Army.
I've pushed a lot of ships around this harbor. I haven't lost one yet. When you finally get them on their own, that's when you realize how thirsty you are and how good a cold beer is going to taste. That's it, guys. It's Miller time.
Miller time. Time for America's quality beer.
Home again.
Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, Miller's got the beer.
Coming up Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the WBA World Light Heavyweight Champion Michael Spinks defends against number 2 ranked Jerry Celestine out of New Orleans. That fight in Atlantic City. Howard will be out in Las Vegas for the post-fight report on the Holmes-Cooney fracas. And all of that will follow the Pro Bowlers Spring Tour coming out of Portland, Oregon. And the bowling is on the air at 3:30 Eastern Time.
Where are you going to be?
I've seen so much. I want to say this. I have seen so much boxing the last 3 months. I'm getting scar tissue from watching.
Don't tell me your troubles.
I saw a pretty good dance in Las Vegas on Saturday. All right, here's Rodriguez, the 3rd baseman for the White Sox. Allman, the shortstop, and Ron LaFleur, the center fielder, at the top of the order. Oakland out on top, 2-0. We're at bat with the White Sox now in the bottom of the 3rd. And Rodriguez takes a look. Strike one. Conversation involving Darrell Evans, 3rd baseman of the San Francisco Giants. There are several people that would like to get a hold of him. The story was the Cubs would like to have him. The White Sox indicate they might like to have him. The Oakland A's say we'll take him too. But he's still wearing a Giants uniform as of tonight.
Talking about Roland Heeman earlier, Keith. The White Sox were talking about the asking price for Darrell Evans being much too high to suit their fancy. Veteran 3rd baseman. What is Evans? 34 years old, I believe. He's 34.
Yeah. Got that?
That's so young.
It is, isn't it?
Bills have tied the Cubs 5-5 in the 7th.
Rodriguez is gone as Langford nails him. so Rick Langford now is sailing along. He's given the White Sox only one hit so far in the ball game.
Keith, I talked at the top of the telecast about the fact that Langford has trouble at times pitching from behind. He's given up 14 home runs, but tonight he is working well, pitching from in front. He's not a hard thrower. He's got a good sinking fastball, slider.
That ball is well hit by Allman to left. It's going to go to the wall, bounces off the facade, and Allman stands at second base with a double.
Every time you open your mouth, you.
High fastball, right? More often than not.
Allman came off that road trip at 2 hits and 25 trips.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time. That ball's right down the middle, up around the letters. A nothing fastball. He jumped on it and hit it for a double. But what I was going to say about Langford, he's got a sinking fastball, slider. He throws a lot of off-speed stuff when he pitches from behind and has been accused at times of loading him up. And with the center field shot, I think before tonight's game is over, we'll get a shot at one or two.
All right, Coach, whatever you say.
LaFleur now up there, the top of the order, rolled out to the shortstop, first time up. Hits it, foul, upstairs, out of play.
You know, Keith, when we first saw Allman with San Diego, I didn't think he could fungo hit a ball that far. I mean it. He's just been amazing as a member of the Sox.
Strike year, he hit 301.
Well, his whole game has improved. His fielding is much improved.
An element of confidence came to play, too, I think, when the trade was made, and he suddenly realized, here's a ball club that really wants me. They play at second base, nothing there. And being able to get his batting average up around 300 for a season has given him confidence. Plus, he probably got to a point in his career where there was either put up or forget it. And I'm sure that nobody wants to languish and wait too long. That ball is drifting up into the crowd, and the catch is made. The runner tags and goes to third. How about that? Tony Armas went right up in the crowd to make the catch. Those must not be White Sox fans out there.
Here's Armas against that lower box seat railing down there, reaching in and making the catch from the bat of LaFleur. Watch this throw now by Armas. This is right on line to third. There's Allman in plenty of time, but again, throws like that really don't impress. What if he throws the ball away? There's nobody backing up the play. Right. The run is in. Right. I mean, the guy is going to third anyway. Why not throw it to the cutoff man and forget about it?
That's not.
Okay.
Bernazard up there with 2 out, second baseman. Hit a fly ball to left field, first time. Allman over at third, having advanced after the catch by Armas. And the pitch is low for a ball. In the old days at Comiskey Park, back when before it was all painted and made pretty, and Reinsdorf, Messrs. Reinsdorf, Einhorn, etc., moved in here and began to change the image of the White Sox. Do you think Armas could have caught the ball out there? There's somebody to whack him over the head with an umbrella or something.
He would just now be coming out of the seat.
That's right.
Well, you're well qualified to talk about the old days. You were the little boy in 1919 who stood there under the L and said, "Say it ain't so, Joe."
2 balls and no strikes. There's the pitch, high pop-up on the left side. The shortstop, Stanley, yields. The left fielder, Henderson, makes the catch, and the inning is over. So the White Sox get a man as far as third, but can't bring him home. It's 2-0 Oakland after 3 innings.
Say, Mike.
You found them.
Do you do tune-ups?
All the time, lady.
Yes, but can you guarantee your tune-ups for a year with free follow-ups?
At Goodyear, when we tune your engine, we back our good work with a 12-month guarantee. A guarantee that's got our good name on it. Now, who else can give you that?
A year guarantee on a tune-up?
For auto service that's guaranteed, come up to Goodyear.
I'll tell you, we never realized golf was such a tough game.
Hey, it's a lot easier hitting a quarterback than a little white ball.
So what's Linkster's drink light beer from Miller?
Not just because light tastes great, but because it's got a third less calories than a regular beer.
And it's less filling.
And you can't afford to get filled up when you're out there trying to get birdies.
Yeah, those things move awfully fast.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Mr. Kofa?
Yes?
I'm your Bell System Yellow Pages representative. I'm here to help you.
Well, I'm in the book. What more can I say?
The Bell System Yellow Pages can do the talking for you. You know, the food is great.
Mama does all the cooking.
Well, say it.
I said it.
Say it here in the Yellow Pages, where 4 out of 5 people let their fingers do the walking.
Mama, he's here to help us.
Really? Give him my apron.
Get the Yellow Pages talking.
Mama does all the cooking.
Let your fingers do the walking.
KTNV TV, Las Vegas.
Jeff Burrows, Mickey Klutz, Davy Lopes, the scheduled hitters for Oakland as we go to the top of the 4th inning with the A's on top 2-0.
First time I ever saw this kid was at Pompano Beach. The then Washington Senators were being managed by Ted Williams. Williams called the group of us over behind the batting cage, and he said, watch this kid. He's going to be a great hitter.
On the corner for a strike.
Are you saying he's been right?
No, but for a time he appeared to be right. Certainly.
A lot of power. Plenty of power at Texas.
Out of play. Well, Seattle released him. Let him go as a free agent after the 81 season. You'd think in the Kingdom he'd hit a lot of tons, huh? High fly ball out toward right center field. The right fielder, Harold Baines, comes over to make the catch for the first out of the inning.
What man here tonight hit .392 with 174 ribbies for Phoenix in his first full season in organized baseball? Not Bob Uecker. That was my guess.
No. I don't have the foggiest idea. If you want a truthful answer from me. Mickey Klutz is at the plate now with a 176 average. Pops him up on the left side. Be a play on this one. The third baseman, Rodriguez. The shortstop both there, and they're holding hands. And Rodriguez makes the catch for the second out.
Will we get an answer on this? Billy Martin. Is that him? Billy Martin. 1947 at Phoenix.
Well, he peeked out early.
Was that a Yankee farm? It was a Giant farm for a long, long time.
Well, back in those days, they'd sort of parcel them off. You know, somebody that needed a player, they'd make a deal. They moved around a lot those days in the market.
How old was Billy Martin when he went into organized ball? 17. Fresh in years, couldn't afford to go to college.
Greg Luzinski reflected from the dugout there as Davy Lopes stands in and takes a breaking pitch for strike one.
Billy was 19 for that year in Phoenix. That was a wonderful year.
That had to be his biggest year in organized ball.
1 ball and 1 strike on Lopes. What year are you talking about? 44?
47.
47. Good pitch.
Beautiful pitch.
1-2, the count. Way outside. The one thing that sticks in my mind forever and a day about baseball in 1947, that was the year that Cookie Lavagetto broke Bill Bevins' heart.
That was the year that Jackie Robinson came into baseball in the major leagues.
Fouled away. Upstairs, and the count is 2-2.
Where were you sitting when Henrik watched that ball bound off the concave, convex right field wall of Ebbets?
Ebbets Field I was sitting. Downstairs. Pitch. low. There's a young fella in the Marines. Next week, a couple of ball games of interest for you, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. And the Red Sox have been a major story for 1982. And the New York Mets, quite a story in 82 as well, at Pittsburgh against the Pirates. That's next week on ABC's presentation of Monday Night Baseball.
I suggest that the major, Ralph Houck, has been an amazing story. You know what Yaz says? When I learned that Houck was coming here, I figured how could he communicate with the young players? After all, 62, out of baseball 2 years. Said, heck, he got here. I found out he's younger than I am.
Yeah. Sharply hit to the second baseman, Bernazard. Throws him out, and the inning is over. So Trout gets the A's in order in the top of the fourth inning after 3.5 in Chicago. 2-0, Oakland.
Is Gillette foamy thick and rich enough to restrain this rushing roller coaster?
No.
Is foamy thick and rich enough to support this lovely lady? No. Is foamy thick and rich enough to hold up this husky hiker?
No. But if you want a clean, close shave, it's more than thick and rich enough.
Have you seen the ad for Sony Betamax components? There they are, actual size. Oh, this is quite an ad. And here's a wireless remote control that does just about everything. And the recorder's so light you can take it anywhere to shoot your own movies. I'd love to shoot my own movies. Ah, coupon. I wonder what it says. Ah, Sony's Trinicon color camera and free tape offer. I'm keeping the coupon. The Sony Betamax component system. I'm keeping the whole thing.
The Bulls, Lazinski. I mentioned earlier that he had talked about help from Charlie Lau, the batting coach. I talked with him on that very matter. Greg, Tony La Russa made an interesting observation. While you're an established and successful slugger in the big leagues, he said even you have been helped as a hitter by batting coach Charlie Lau. Do you care to amplify?
Well, there's no question Charlie's helped me, and I've got into a bad habit, maybe from Philadelphia and coming over here last year, and I used my top hand too much on the baseball bat, and when I complete my swing, instead of leaving go and following high like he likes you to follow high, I was keeping my hand on the bat and thus hitting the ball on the ground weakly. Now that I've taken my hand off the bat at contact, it definitely helped me and helped me drive the ball in the gap and to right field with more power.
I wonder if that'd help my golf swing.
I think anything would.
You're right, it would. Now,
he might have helped Euchre, Charlie Lau.
You know, you get so many arguments out of different hitters, Keith, about Charlie Lau's style of hitting, of letting go of the bat with one hand. A lot of hitters contend the front hand is the one that drives the ball. A lot of other guys tell you it's the hand down below that drives it. And for Lazinski, well, I guess whoever it works for best, whatever you're trying to do, that's it. I just can't believe that a guy can hit a baseball as far with one hand as he can with two. And watching the Bull over the years drive baseballs to tremendous distances, I'm sure it helps him hitting toward right field or right center. He's trying to take a pitch outside and go that way.
Well, here's a young man who hit the ball deep to center his first time up. Steve Kemp, swinging from the left side, this time lifts it in the air toward left center, where Dwayne Murphy is kept for out number one.
White Sox really in a miserable hitting slump. They collected 9 hits. That's it, 9 in 3 games in Arlington, Texas. So far, they have 1 tonight to double by a home.
There's a lot of grumbling around Chicago over the fact that Lazinski is not on the All-Star ballot for 1982. But there's no spot on the ballot for designated hitters. Though there are 3 DHs right now listed among outfielders, those being Richie Zisk, Don Baylor, and Kenny Singleton. And the folks in Chicago figure their man, at least the White Sox partisans feel their man ought to be included.
It's going to be interesting to see who Billy Martin takes as extra players, Keith. Yep. He could be picked that way.
Yep. Ball is hit to the right side, but Armas is over there and has plenty of room for out number 2.
I was just going to say, Keith, if we got a chance to run this one back, that last swing, watch both hands on the bat now. The pitch before, he took one off. There he's making contact with both hands going all the way through. And again, it may be a tough thing for a hitter to do, to adapt a whole new style of hitting. I was going to mention this before with Fisk. We talked about how much trouble he is having to adopt a new style of hitting if that's what Charlie Lau is doing for him. And after all the years that he has hit one way, it's got to be tough to try and do it during the course of the regular season.
So, Mr. Lau is being paid a veritable fortune by the Chicago club to work with hitters.
Paciorek hits it sharply at third. Klutz digs it out, throws, gets it. And so Langford cuts down Chicago in order here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And Rick right now sailing along as the Oakland A's lead the Chicago White Sox after 4 by a score of 2-0.
If you run a small business, profits can get squeezed when inventory doesn't match up with production. What you need is a tool for modern times, the IBM personal computer. Not only can it help you plan ahead, it'll balance your books and give you more time to make dough. And the cost? That's the icing on the cake. Your own IBM personal computer. Try it at a store near you.
Chevrolet Celebrity.
Come drive the bright new shape of Chevrolet.
Celebrity.
Celebrity. Chevrolet's newest and largest front-wheel drive. A shape so aerodynamic, it requires less than 12 horsepower to cruise at 50 miles per hour.
Celebrity.
Celebrity. The comforts of a larger car, the precision of front-wheel drive come together.
Drive it.
Celebrity, the bright new shape of Chevrolet.
Tonight, the Martins are watching the whole world go up in flames. A home they may never get back.
Allstate update. Home replacement guarantee.
The Martins have homeowners insurance, but they don't have Allstate's home replacement guarantee. It's better than inflation protection alone because it guarantees Allstate will pay to rebuild your home, brick for brick, regardless of cost. Today, you need Allstate's home replacement guarantee. Another reason you're in good hands with Allstate.
The Oakland A's dugout down the first base side here at Comiskey Park. The White Sox on the other way. And going out to the mound, left-hander Steve Trout, top of the fifth inning, to face Jeff Newman, Fred Stanley, and Rickey Henderson. And it was this group that resulted in Oakland scoring 2 runs in the top of the third inning.
Together with a fellow named Cliff Johnson.
Yes. Newman led off. They got him hung up off third, but then Stanley with a single scored. Fielder's choice for Henderson. Both of them scored when Johnson hit a ground rule double that bounced over the center field wall. Ball is hit to the right side. Paciorek knocks it down, goes to the pitcher, and they get it. It's time, but just sort of flagging at it out there. Where is it? Where is it?
How many times you see him work that play in spring training, Keith, where the pitcher is going to cover first base and they drop the ball on purpose just to make the pitcher stay and hold the bag.
Yeah. And he's standing
finally
there
paid off.
waiting for somebody to run up his hind leg with spikes. Fred Stanley, the shortstop now. 1 for 1, single, and a run scored.
When the Yankees acquired Bucky Dent from the Chicago White Sox, Martin wasn't that anxious to get Bucky.
That's foul down the left side, out of play.
His faith in Stanley was terrific, as it still is.
Well, as we said before, he's been around Billy Martin in the Oakland dugout. Stanley's been a good player. He's never been a great hitter, but he's always been steady in the field. He can turn the double play. He makes the play from the hole at short. That's all Billy's ever asked to be.
Inside, make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Very still now. Almost no wind. Jerks it foul. Going to drop in the crowd. Out of play. Comiskey Park. 1910 it came into being. You can see that Billy Martin is sort of working against history in the case of the A's.
Well, he would have to get rid of himself, wouldn't he? Is he the GM, too?
Yeah.
Well, owners can party it, too. Both ways. Then he loses both, right?
Yeah. Billy?
Yeah.
Signed a 5-year contract.
That doesn't mean you can't leave.
So that... Oh, wait. Signed a 5-year contract so that he could tell those players who get long-term contracts, doesn't matter. I'll be here and you'll still be gone.
Steve Trout working 2-2 now.
Remarkable fella. That night in Phoenix for Ken Boyer was one of the great things I've ever seen.
Yep, that was good. He's gone.
Bennett over the corner. Stanley checked. And he goes back to the dugout, a strikeout victim. ABC News Nightline focuses on the carrying out of U.S. foreign policy through the United Nations. Guest will be U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Gene Kirkpatrick, and former Israeli delegate Chaim Herzog. Nightline airing 30 minutes after the conclusion of tonight's game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen in its regularly scheduled time. Follows your local news, of course, on most everywhere, including the West Coast. All right, Rickey Henderson now is up there with 2 down and nobody on. Henderson has singled, been aboard on the fielder's choice, and scored a run. Nick Bremigan back of the plate, calling the balls and strike. Greg Kosk at first, Steve Palermo, Dave Phillips, the umpires. Strike pitch to Rickey Henderson. A little high.
Remember what Fisk said. Has all the pitches. Now he seems in better command than he's been all game. The reason? Able to work that outside corner with the curve. Putting it where he wants.
Exactly. Breaking ball is hit to right. Baines backs up, makes the catch. And so Trout has retired the Oakland A's in order here in the top of the 5th. After 4 1/2. 2-0, Oakland leads.
You men. There's only one reason you wear cologne. Only one reason. Women. Hey, that's okay. Why do you think we use perfume? But as long as you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. Use this cologne, English leather, because English leather drives women crazy. Now, can you think of a better reason to wear a cologne? English leather drives women crazy.
Hot, fiery, cold, cranking, dirt, fighting, road, having money, saving, hard working. AC Dumbo.
You know, I don't put just anything in this car. This is an original, and that's the way I keep her. With AC Fire Ring spark plugs. When you can go with the original, why mess with anything else?
Yeah, that's hot firing. Cold cranking.
Dirt fighting.
Road handling.
Money saving.
Hard working.
AC Dumbo.
Earlier we mentioned Billy Martin has been criticized for burning out his pitches, presumably a year ago. I talked with him on the matter. I don't think anybody questions your managerial capabilities. Nobody's established a greater name at managing in the recent years of baseball. With every team you've had, you've won. Now suddenly they say you burned your pitchers out a year ago. What's your rejoinder?
Well, they got to say something about me, Howard. They've been right on with other things to say about me, so I guess that's a new thing. My pitchers aren't burned out at all. If there is a problem with them right now is that we got rained out in spring training. We didn't get enough innings in. So they're just starting to come around now, and they should be ready by the time the season's halfway done.
Well, graphic speaks volumes, doesn't it? So there, Mr. Euchre, there's Billy's answer.
Well, again, a couple of days ago, talking about Matt Keogh pitching in a ball game that he got knocked out of in about the 4th inning, he told Billy They were talking about him having a tired arm, but he came back on Sunday and told Billy if Billy needed him for an inning or two on Sunday that he could pitch. I'm just questioning whether you take your starting pitchers and use them in relief 2 or 3 innings and then come back 2 or 3 days later in a starting role. I don't care how young you are and how strong you are, sooner or later it's got to bother you.
Harold Baines leads off for the White Sox, bottom of the 5th. It's a high fly ball that drops down the left field line. For strike one, Carlton Fisk will be next up. Third man will be Aurelio Rodriguez.
I can go along a little bit with what Billy said, Howard, but again, going back to spring training, the A's had over 100 players or more in spring training. And didn't have a chance to look at and work with a lot of the guys that were going to come with the club for the Major League season. They looked at a lot of their minor league players.
Don't forget, he is the general manager, too.
Exactly.
It gave him his only opportunity to study the young players. By the way, the Oakland farm teams, every one of them in their respective leagues is in first place.
But apparently nobody there to help at this particular point in time.
Well, they brought the kid Phillips up. You know, the kid was in AAA. He was hitting .360. That may have been a premature move.
I think so. He has a lot of tools. We may not get a chance to see him play tonight, but he's got a lot of tools and certainly got a chance to play in the major leagues. But he played in AA ball a year ago. His first year in AAA, and as you said, hitting .360. But many people think he was rushed a bit to stay in AAA for a full year and get a good year under his belt, and then maybe next year come to the major leagues.
Besides, Tacoma's a nice town.
That's right. That's right. Establish yourself in Tacoma.
Well, he was either going to open a pharmacy there or a hardware store.
Either one he would have succeeded, especially if he'd gone to fight. Baines pulls it sharply, but right to the first baseman Johnson, and you go one out. And Carlton Fisk now will come to the plate.
You brought up a good point earlier, Howard, about this White Sox club in that 3-game series against Texas coming up with 9 base hits. They were beaten 2 of 3, and the game they won was on the 2-run homer by Baines in a game they only got 3 hits in. And it's shown here tonight. A couple of base hits, 2 extra base hits, but have yet to score against Rick Langford.
Langford got him in order in the bottom of the 4th. He has one here in the bottom of the 5th. And Fisk fouls it at the plate for strike one.
Tony La Russa. The scouts taught to speak Spanish so they can communicate with the great source of talent now emerging from Mexico, the Mexican connection.
1-1 to Fudge.
And they conduct English lessons for all Mexican players associated with the organization.
I think that's important. That is a really important thing.
This is a progressive organization.
Fisk swings and misses, and it's 1-2. Imagine a youngster coming out of some little village in Dominican Republic or Mexico or, for that matter, even Puerto Rico. Sometimes it's got to be a very lonely life for them unless they have some means of communicating. 1-2. 2-2.
Keith, Mexican baseball officials have put together a school now similar to what the Kansas City Royals had at their academy in Sarasota, Florida. Basically the same kind of a deal in education, to be taught English when they do come to the United States as professional baseball players. It's just got underway, and they're looking for a lot of success from it.
Fisk trying to check, goes too far, strikes out, turns to the plate umpire Brimington, and I'm sure asks, was the pitch a strike?
I thought it might have been inside, but we'll look at it one more time. It was that sinking fastball. I thought it was a bad pitch.
Inside.
Well, La Russa is going to be tested. He's got to get his team out of this slump. And this game is certainly not over yet. 2-0. Wide open ball game. But clearly having grave difficulty connecting. And he will succeed. You remember when Eddie Stanky came back to manage and we saw the players of the modern age suddenly another swinging strike. Clubhouse filled with rock music. Players using hair dryers. And he said, this is not my bag. And he went right back. Quit.
To South Alabama.
That's right. But La Russa.
That's bounce to the third baseman. And Butts throws it out. And so now, Langford has put Chicago down 8 in order. And the Oakland A's lead 2-0 after 5. Back with more after this word from our local station.
The jealous ex-wife fights back.
He's a private investigator.
Dynasty.
For News 13 tonight, so far it's 38 this year. 38 homicides as Las Vegas recorded another one at midday today. We'll have details tonight on News 13 late at 11.
It's here. It's now. It's totally exciting. The new Showboat Racing Sportsbook. So different you have to experience it yourself. The Showboat Racing Sportsbook, the next best thing to being there. Feel the thrills, ride the winners. It's all here at the Showboat Racing Sportsbook. Come in and let the Showboat put you in the middle of all the action all the time. The Showboat Racing Sportsbook. We're out to make an impression on you because when it comes to sports, you can bet on the boat.
Today, if you want something done, you've got to do it yourself. And if you want to do it right, you need to start with quality tools and building materials. And Home Lumber has more of everything. Name brands like McCulloch, Black & Decker, Colony, Georgia Pacific, Peerless, Owens Corning, and Stanley. Today, more than ever, you'll save when you do it yourself. And with Home Lumber, you can do it. You can do it. Home Lumber and you.
Holmes Cooney, A Matter of Pride, Thursday evening at 7.
Excuse the shirt sleeves, but it's a warm night in Chicago. In a 2-0 ball game, I'm Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell, and Bob Uecker.
Nice to have you with us. I'm with the owner of the pharmacy.
The premier presentation of ABC's Monday Night Baseball for 1982, which goes on through the month of August. We'll have the All-Star Game out of Montreal, July 13. July 16, a Friday night, a special baseball presentation for you in prime time. The National and American League Championship Series in October. And if the divisional races warrant it, the last 3 Sundays in September. We'll take a look at them. Right now, you see scores from about the American League tonight and now the National League. They're scoreless in Montreal and even Pittsburgh and New York. And right now, we look at Wayne Murphy leading off for the Oakland A's in the top of the 6th inning with Cliff Johnson on deck and Tony Armas to follow.
I'll tell you, a manager you know and had in Milwaukee who's a great stabilizer, George Famberg.
Yes, he was. He's done a tremendous job with the New York Mets, too, Howard. But they've got some talent over in that ball club now. They've got some guys that can bang the ball out of the ballpark for you. And, of course, George's strong suit has always been pitching, and he'll get them straightened out. He's done a great job over there.
Well, I'll tell you, the appearance of the work of Swan lately has been outstanding, and Palaio done a pretty good job for him as well.
He's good, Palaio. Kid from Seton Hall.
George is a great confidence builder in pitching staffs, and he loves to get pitchers complete games, and they like to work that way. Every time you get in a little bit of a jam to be taken out of a ball game, and George would rather see him pitch a complete game if they can work out of it themselves.
But we were talking about young managers, and just to finish what I was saying on Tony La Russa, he said, heck, I love rock music, and I've used hair dryers, and I understand people my own age, and he will succeed.
Well, Steve Trout blows down Wayne Murphy and strikes him out. The U.S. Open comes up here on ABC. There are the times and the dates. Coverage begins on June 17. It'll be played at Pebble Beach on the Pacific Coast. It's the golf course Jack Nicklaus probably enjoys playing as much as any, perhaps even more than any. We've got a lot of young people now. Stadler bowed his neck, didn't he?
Craig is just a great player, one of our former college golf All-Americans. But Jack, they were writing him off when he missed 2 consecutive cuts, you remember? And they changed a little bit.
How often has the media been right? Cliff Johnson. Jack has had so much success at Pebble Beach. He's had an enormous amount of, because he's, I guess...
he'll be going for his 5th Open.
He's about as good as any I've ever seen. Cliff Johnson is up there now with a 1-ball and 1-strike count.
Jack won the last open played there, you'll recollect. What a man.
What I like about him, he's the same man day after day after day after day. 1-1. Oh, everybody stay loose. Here comes the timber. That goes flying well beyond third base.
That's one of his best.
Yeah,
one of the better ones that I've seen.
That's a major league release right there.
It's a good changeup from Trout. There she goes.
Well,
you see Rodriguez's feet got very light down there, didn't it?
Cleet Boyer?
Yeah, that man.
Cleet's used to that.
But Cleet is something. He really is.
He's a great friend.
Just a marvelous human being. And the manner in which he's been caring for his brother, Ken. Remember that night in Phoenix? Kenny Boyer, of course, fighting lung cancer. And Billy Martin spearheaded a dinner that raised $103,000 back in March in Phoenix, Arizona. May have been the high point of the season before the season even began. You presided over the ceremonies that night, performed masterfully. Joe Garagiola was there. Yours truly was there. It was a night to remember. And Cleet got up and paraphrased Lou Gehrig. That's the man people think, well, they should know the other side of him. And Cleet, with a choked voice, said, the Boyer family, my brother Kenny, me, all of us, we are the luckiest people on earth.
Well, that ball diving from Steve Trout. Johnson went fishing, didn't get it, and he strikes out.
A little changeup, Keith, that he turned over. A little bit of a screwball effect on this ball, running down and away from Johnson. Off-speed stuff, but he's well out in front of it, chasing for a strikeout, the second in a row here in the 6th inning for Trout.
He struck out 3 of the last 4.
Keith, you know, going back to what Carlton Fisk said earlier about Trout, he has the ability to be an outstanding pitcher and should be a strikeout pitcher. He has that kind of stuff. He's got a great fastball. Off-speed stuff is good. Saw good evidence of an excellent changeup and screwball right there. But again, going back to the lack of concentration at times, his biggest problem.
Charlie Lau. Not the nicest scene.
Tony Armas is up there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on him. I can get up off the floor now. I'll be all right. 1-1. Foul ball into the dugout on the White Sox side.
Pretty good graphic on Steve Trout. 55 innings without a home run here at Comiskey Park. This is a big ballpark, though. This is a good ballpark to pitch in.
That's the point LaRussa makes about Kemp. He said, this is not a home run ballpark. I'm not disappointed in Steve's absence of home runs. This is a gap ballpark. Send it down the gap. Take 2 bases.
Well, he hit 26 one year at Detroit.
You could have hit 26 at Detroit.
I don't think so.
There sits an honest man. 2-2. High fly ball, deep left field, and it's gone.
Just when we flashed that graphic, Tony Armas, who Bob Uecker said earlier in the game was just a touch away from beginning to connects.
You got a changeup upstairs, another off-speed pitch from Trout, and a big 2-out base hit again. Johnson, the 2-out double back in the 3rd, and now Armas with a 2-out shot off Trout. Here it is again. Watch this. An off-speed pitch upstairs. Fisk wants it down. It's up, and he got it all. Upper deck.
Upper deck. First time Armas has hit for the circuit. in Comiskey Park. And the batter is Jeff Burrows, who could lose one for you as well. 3-0 now. The A's are leading the White Sox. Just when Trout looked like he really had him reaching and fishing by changing his speeds, he didn't change that one enough and missed his location with it. See you later. Outside.
Well, he'd retired 9 straight. Final out back in the third, worked a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and 5th. 2 strikeouts in the 6th, and then the home run by Armas.
Burrow shoots it in the crowd foul.
There's Tony. You know, you meet Tony Armas, and on the surface he appears a withdrawn, even moody individual. He is quite the converse in reality. Most genial fellow.
Really is, yep.
Just shy and waiting to be approached and eager to talk.
Trout changes, goes inside and low with it to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating homestand, Howard. And, you know, coming back off the disabled list, we talked about that earlier, was not hitting the ball. And as you said, when you're around him, he looks like he's a tough guy to get along with. That's not true at all.
Well, that kid Leal, he's tough. Put away the Yankees. He's beaten Tommy John 3 times. Toronto, an improving club.
Had a couple of young pitchers on that staff, Howard, that can really throw. They're good. They've got a decent bullpen coming on now.
Ground ball, third base. Aurelio Rodriguez throws him out. The inning is over, but the home run by Tony Armas puts the Oakland A's on top in the middle of the 6th, 3-0.
I'm David Mahoney of Avis, and I've had it with hearing that all rent-a-car companies are alike. No way. There's no one like Avis and the Avis people, committed to giving you the car you want, when you want it, and a car that works. Now, that's some job. It takes top-notch service and everyone from top to bottom busting their gut to do it right for you. That's commitment. That's trying harder. And that's what makes Avis second to none.
Kodak has a film that catches the action, even when it's too fast for the eye to see.
Get it, hold it, don't let the thrills pass you by. Catch it, keep it. Kodak has a film that's quicker than the eye.
Even what's a blur to the eye can be stopped with Kodak's 400-speed films, the fastest 35mm films from Kodak. When we tell you Michelin radials last and last...
That's no surprise.
When we tell you Michelin radials save gas...
That's no surprise.
But when we tell you you can get Michelins for about the same price as other leading radials...
Now that's a surprise.
But it's true. We're America's fastest growing tire company. We make the tire you need at a price you can afford. See your Michelin dealer and prices set for your car. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Michelin, we put America on radials.
Saturday, WBA World Light Heavyweight Champ Michael Spinks battles to keep his undefeated record. Plus the last word on Holmes Cooney on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday.
Preceding ABC's Wide World of Sports on Saturday will be the City of Roses Open, Portland, Oregon. $95,000 on the line on the Professional Bowler Spring Tour at 3:30 Eastern and Pacific, 2:30 Central.
Gentlemen, Seattle is leading Texas 4-0 after 6 innings, and a kid named Gene Nelson is pitching a perfect game. Gene Nelson, Tim Lala with San Diego. When you think of some of the players the Yankees have traded, and you're talking about Toronto, Damaso Garcia is one of the great young players in baseball.
The young pitcher you're talking about, Gene Nelson, had a chance to watch him work twice this year. He beat the Brewers 7-2 in Milwaukee and then lost 2-1 in Seattle. He's a good one.
Langford steps up on the pitching rubber and wheels in to Bill Allman, the shortstop for the Chicago White Sox, leading off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ron LaFleur and Tony Bernazard scheduled to follow, with Steve Kemp the 4th man. Allman in the initial trip to the plate tonight. Hit a double off the left field wall. Stopped at third. Couldn't get him home. Foul.
Crowd chanting, "Let's go Sox." There are the White Sox regular shortstops through the years. Look at that. Allman is the first guy.
Aparicio left. They rotated to Waterford. That's a hot shot at third. And Klutz gets in. Nice play by Mickey.
Since Bucky Dent, Allman's the first guy to have 2 consecutive years at shortstop.
Tell you, Klutz took a pretty good shot that time. Fred Stanley. Stay with him, Mickey. Ball
Feel
hit very
yourself.
sharp.
There's a hole there, Mickey.
Ball hit sharply by Allman, bouncing off the chest of Klutz.
I tell you,
knock him down and throw him out.
One thing, when you're named Klutz and play in the infield in Major League, you better be tough.
You betcha.
You remember the catcher, Clyde Klutz?
Clyde Klutz.
Alliterative.
Ron LaFleur, the top of the order, steps up for the White Sox and takes it low and away for ball 1. The Oakland A's are leading 3-0, having scored twice in the third and once in the sixth. Well, they won't get him this time. LaFleur's aboard. He cut it loose going down the line and was easier aboard, but maybe Mickey is just showing the after effects of. He was in some on the grass, figuring that the bunt might come.
Oh, marvelous thinking there, huh?
If that's a different runner, they may have a chance.
Well, sure. With LaFleur's speed, you just don't get the real shot at it.
I think I was going to say what an easy time Langford is having tonight. Just watching him work, he's working so very easy, throwing a lot of off-speed stuff, breaking balls, a little slider, a little screwball or sinking fastball. But a very easy effort for him tonight, leading 3-0.
Now with LaFleur on first base, the tempo picks up just a bit with the home folks in the bottom of the 6th inning as Bernazard steps in.
By the way, why do most third basemen give LaFleur the bunt? He really tries to put one down, despite that fact. Why?
Well, Klutz was in on the edge of the grass, but he got it so far out toward the mound, it was almost in the perfect spot.
You know, Howard, talking about Clete Boyer earlier, Boyer had a theory on playing third base against guys like LaFleur or Bernazard, who is up now batting left-handed, Henderson, the guys who can run.
Go to second, get the lead man back to first, not in time.
Yeah?
I was going to say that with guys like those people, the guys who could really run and bunt, Boyer would not give him the bunt. He'd make him drive the ball by him. He'd play up so very short at third. As you look one more time at this play, hit right on one hop to Johnson in plenty of time for LaFleur, but he got there so very quickly and upset Stanley. The throw was in the dirt and pulling Johnson off the bag, allowing Bernazard to reach. Boyer just wouldn't give you a base hit, a bunt single. He would make you try and drive the ball by him.
Batter is Steve Kemp. Fly ball to center both times, one of them very deep.
Buddy Bell just singled with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th to break up Gene Nelson's perfect game. Texas trailing Seattle 4-0.
Hit to the left side. And Henderson going back makes the catch. Pure speed.
That's what that outfield can do for you. There is none better in baseball, defensively. Catching, running, throwing.
And so the Chicago White Sox are turned away here in the bottom of the 6th inning as you see Rickey Henderson running it down, going well up in the air to haul it down. And after 6, it's 3-0 Oakland.
Chevy Camaro is a car born to succeed, but the road to success is never easy. You get there by going for it and sticking to it. That's how Chevy Camaro has taken the road to the top. Setting the pace at the Indy 500, leading the pack as Motor Trend's Car of the Year. Chevy Camaro, without a shadow of doubt, turns heads, levels hills, and is bound to succeed.
This is Just Whistle, Gillette's twin blade razor for women. It pivots, adjusts to every curve to give a girl a smooth and easy shave.
This is Atra, Gillette's twin blade razor for men. It pivots, adjusts to every curve to give a guy a close and comfortable shave.
Just Whistle for her?
Atra for him. And they both use Atra blades.
Is that where my blades have been going?
Gillette's best shave for both of you.
I've been comparing the exciting new Intellivision space game Star Strike with one of the most popular Atari games, Asteroid. Star Strike has moving images that make the game appear three-dimensional. Asteroids doesn't. And Star Strike features our most exciting visual effect, total destruction of a planet. This is what the other game offers, which is why after Star Strike, Asteroids left me rather flat. Star Strike, new for Intellivision from Mattel Electronics.
Klutz, Lopes, Newman scheduled to come up for Oakland. A's out on top by 3-0 score. And we go to the top of the 7th inning now. Steve Trout. He's allowed 6 hits, one of them a home run by Tony Armas. He's inside for ball 1.
Now, that's what you suggested at the very start of the contest, Hugh. Fisk likes the pitches to work inside.
Look at other scores.
Hey, look at Milwaukee.
Baltimore Orioles, 6-0. Palmer against Mike Caldwell in that game.
Jim Palmer?
Toronto. Yep. After his 3rd win of the year, he's lost 3.
Kansas City, a hot ball club.
Swings through it. Little foul tip in front of Fisk.
2 tie games, Mets, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Montreal, and of course, Philadelphia taking the lead over the Cubs, 7-5.
Pitch is low. Escarrega is now up in the Chicago bullpen. Next Monday night, we'll have Boston at New York against the Yankees. And we'll have the New York Mets in Pittsburgh on ABC's Monday Night Baseball. That is hit sharply to the left side. It's dropping for a base hit. Bobbled around some by Kemp. And Klutz ups on into second base. There's Escarrega warming up. He's been in 12 ball games. Earned run average is not terribly healthy.
He's a direct opposite of Barojas, Keith. Salome Barojas, the other half of the Mexican connection. He's not a hard throw at all. He throws a lot of breaking stuff, screwball, sidearm curves.
Tony out there quickly. Checking Trout.
Give him a double on that.
What's interesting about La Russa is the pressure on him here is just overwhelming. Yuki has to prove that he is not bad because of raps placed upon him by a former announcer for this ball club.
That's been going on for quite a while, too, Howard. It's been over a month since media people here, talk show people have really been putting pressure on Tony La Russa. I don't know if he has to win here or not. The owners here seem to be very happy with La Russa, but of course that could change as the year progresses, but his players like him, and I think he's a good manager.
I think he's terrific.
Klutz is on second base, nobody out. Davy Lopes is up.
Billy might play for still another run of an insurance nature here. Might have Davy run him over. Certainly Davy will be hitting to the right side if he can.
Yeah, he just about unhinged him.
The expression on Davy.
See the grin?
Now, if Lopes is a type of a bunter that squares around the bunt, this ball is through him. Lopes is one of those guys that can bunt with his feet moving. Other guys, you go up there and square around the bunt. If you do it that way, that ball's got you. He wants another sign from Clete Boyer now, and he's getting it. Knowing Clete, it's still on. I know what's going to happen.
Took it on the inside corner for a strike. What's going to happen?
I was going to say, because I said it's still on, he's hitting. It's a big runner out there. He's got to get him over.
I would certainly think so. But he didn't indicate bunt there. And it's 2-1. To watch Frank Howard give the signs for the Mets this year is hilarious. I mean, you couldn't possibly miss a sign. It's just not possible. We'll show you that next Monday night. We do the Mets game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Frank will be looking for you.
Pitch is high.
I still think the word signs are easiest. Holler.
Yeah.
Bunt, hit and run, take. Yeah, Lopes is a veteran player. He can hit the ball to the right side. Done it many, many times. He hasn't got a pitch to hit to the right side yet. He's trying to work him inside.
Still inside on the corner to make it 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Don't say that, because Lopes is skilled at hitting it inside out.
I think you take away from hitters sometimes, Howard. When a hitter gets an inside pitch and he's looking to hit to right field, it's a ball sometimes you can drive and hit deep to left.
It's inside again, and Lopes is aboard.
This could be it.
That's the first walk given by Trout tonight. And out of the dugout comes La Russa. So Tony's on his way to the mound. Escarrega has been warming up in the bullpen. And it looks like we're going to get ourselves a new pitcher. So Steve Trout is out of there after 6 innings plus, with Oakland leading 3-0. We'll be right back.
In 1935, only one airline, Pan Am, stood poised on the edge of America, ready to challenge the Pacific. And today, the mighty clippers of Pan Am rise majestically from 6 continents for the far corners of the world. Where will we fly to next? Well, we've been thinking.
You can't beat the experience.
You know, baseball's the same in Japan as it is in America. You play 9 innings. 3 strikes and you're out. And after the game, there's nothing like a beer. And when Numa's in town, I treat him to light beer from Miller because it tastes great. Yeah, I know it's less filling, but we drink it because it tastes great. Listen, Numa, it tastes great. All right, it's less filling.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And
Now this looks like a good fight. WBA World Light Heavyweight Champ Michael Spinks, the Olympic gold medalist and undefeated as a pro. Saturday, he'll try to bring Jerry Celestine, the WBA second-ranked contender, to a sudden stop. I want to see that one. Plus the last word on the Holmes-Cooney title fight. Now, here are the directions. Watch for ABC's Wide World of Sports after the history of the U.S. Open and bowling Saturday on ABC.
Michael Spinks, of course, defending his WBA light heavyweight championship. We've followed Michael since he won his gold medal at Montreal. Howard at the Box Hall there, and he marched himself into a championship. If Dwight Braxton is able to get by his rematch with Saad Mohammed, it's possible we'll get a unification fight one of these days with Spinks and Braxton. I'll guarantee you that one I want to see. All right, we've got the new pitcher out there. Escarrega is a 32-year-old rookie out of Mexico. He came to the White Sox from their AAA club at Edmonton in the Coast League. And the Edmonton team had purchased his contract from the Mexico City Reds in early April. So here's Jeff Newman coming up.
Maybe they should have purchased Wayne Gretzky.
Jeff Newman is hitting better against the right-handed pitchers, 360 you can see, than he has been against the left-handers. So Tony La Russa goes to a right-hander out of the 10. And he's coming to Newman. Newman squares the bunt. The pitch is low and away.
Gretzky threw out the first ball at Montreal tonight. Did you know that? Phillies have just won 7-5 over the Cubs. Losing streak continues. Dallas Green anguishes.
Keith, you're talking about Jeff Newman. A lot of hitters don't relish hitting against left-handed pitching because you've got that fastball that runs away from you, and it's a tough pitch to pull many times. The breaking ball is always coming down and into you, and you see more right-handers than you do left-handers. Escarrega is not a hard thrower. He throws a lot of breaking stuff, slider, curveball. He's not overpowering at all.
Ball almost thrown into center field.
That was one of his better breaking balls.
Yeah, Allman took it right in the bosom to keep it from going into center.
I thought it was his fastball.
Here's that last pickoff attempt by Escarrega in the dirt, throwing across his body. And a good play by Allman to save an error.
All right, Newman has indicated bunt on the first pitch to him by the Chicago reliever. Butts off second, Lopes off first. Butt is down. Escarrega runs right by it, and the bases are loaded.
Keith, he had a great pitch to bunt. He got the off-speed pitch. He got a breaking ball. Here it is. This is a slider or a curve. Easy pitch to bunt. And Escarrega, breaking toward first base, had no chance to make a play on the ball. Rodriguez going to third to take the play on the runner coming from second. And it's a base hit for Newman to load him up.
And the batter is Fred Stanley.
You know something? Talking about Billy Ball, he just might have chicken bunt.
They work the suicide squeeze as well, if not better, than any other club. 5 of 8 times they have been successful with the suicide.
Kevin Hickey is now up in the Chicago bullpen. He looks. It's in there. Strike to Stanley. Well, you've got fair speed in Klutz at third. You have great speed at Lopes at second. And rather decent speed in Newman at first. There is speed on the bases.
Well, very important. If the suicide squeeze is on, that runner at third is the guy that keys it. If he breaks too soon, it's dead.
That's right.
All you've got to do as a hitter is get it down on the ground. Fair territory. That's all.
Punch foul back in the crowd, out of play.
So much for the suicide squeeze.
Now the bases are loaded. Nobody out. Klutz at third. Lopes at second. Newman at first. 2-strike count on Fred Stanley, the Oakland shortstop. A's are leading 3-0. Escarrega has come on in relief of Steve Trout here in the top of the 7th inning. Oakland losing 7 out of 10 at home. Came to town grumpy. The White Sox losing 8 out of 9 on the road, perhaps even grumpier. Right now, Oakland with a big opportunity here. As shot to Rodriguez. He flags it down and almost got himself a double play. As Klutz went diving back in on his ear at third to avoid being doubled off.
Tough play. Tough chance for Stanley here. He hit it right on the nose, a hanging slider, but a super play by Rodriguez into the air to haul it down. He took an extra base hit possibly away from Stanley and almost a double play.
Well, I told you at the very beginning, he is still one of the better glove men in the game at that spot.
Certainly is. That arm is a rifle. Throws bullets.
Now here's Rickey Henderson. Bases still loaded and 1 out. RBIs on the season, and he looks at Escarrega's pitch. It is low. Ball 1. Well, if you're going to turn 2 here, you better be quick.
One thing about, again, going back to Escarrega, Keith, he does not throw hard. He throws a lot of breakings. You've got to make yourself wait back on this guy. Really wait back.
There's 1 for a strike. Well, the presence of Escarrega on this ball club at 32 years of age, a rookie. Of course, the Dodgers just brought Vicente Romo out of Mexico at 41.
32, they list Escarrega. 32. Looks like he's going on 80s.
Now, wait a minute.
It's just low. 2-1 to Rickey Henderson.
He's just not the overpowering type pitcher. He's a middle inning relief pitcher more often than not for the White Sox. We'll see the other guy, if he gets the opportunity in this game to be used for Rojas. A lot harder thrower. Similar delivery style. Kind of a sidewinder.
It's 2-2. Jackie Moore coaching at first. Clete Boyer coaching at third. A's had the bases loaded and nobody out. Stanley lining out. A fine play by Rodriguez. Henderson can get the ball to the outfield. It'll get one home. Base hit will probably deliver two. Oakland trying to jump to the big lead here at the top of the 7th inning as Henderson flagged down by the pitcher. Comes to the plate. And they get the lead man. You've got 2 out and the base is still loaded.
You see the reflex action by Carlton, making sure that he had in reality touched the bag because he had a moment of indecision.
Here it is. It's an outside breaking ball. Henderson tried to pull it, and a good play by Escarrega. If the ball goes to Allman, they have a tough time making the double play. There's a good throw to Fisk, and as Howard just said a moment ago, making sure he's on the plate. No chance to double up Henderson. They're still loaded up, but now with 2 out. Harry is trying to pull an outside breaking ball. And a good play by the Chicago right-hander.
Now 2 out, and the base is still loaded for Dwayne Murphy.
I'll tell you, this is a big inning for Billy Morton. He wanted to put this game away.
Maybe a bigger inning for the White Sox.
Yeah. By the way, Escarrega is the oldest rookie in the big leagues.
Lopes way down the line at third, and the pitch is low. The ball 1 to Murphy.
Billy likes his runners, Keith, at third to periodically, if you get a chance to get a break on a pitcher, just maybe to cause a balk. Pitcher sees that guy coming, you stop your motion and go back.
Well, Davy Lopes is a crafty fellow. He's stolen a lot of bases in his career, and if he gets it read just right, I don't think Billy would quibble if Davy took off. Just got to time him right.
Got to time him right. It's tough working from the stretch to steal from the stretch.
Yep. It's high and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Murphy.
You know, another thing, Keith, on any of Billy's ball clubs, you don't have to have speed to steal bases. He makes everybody run. Wayne Gross a couple of times last year stole home. You don't have to have speed to try it. He'll send anybody.
Of course, you got a left-handed batter up there, and that further negates the possibility of Lopes taking a run at it. But he seems to be pitching rather carefully to Murphy. Well, Dwayne takes a whack at that one and fouls it back 2-1. No place to put him, so he can't pitch too carefully.
Did they ever have you run?
During the regular season?
See that Dwayne did have one big one here last year in September. His only big one in the major leagues.
This is the kid who's got to start hitting for Billy's team to start playing.
I just couldn't believe the first time that I saw the Oakland A's this year that this guy was hitting that badly. In the 180s.
May well be that you go right back to the fact that they brought in 100 players to spring camp.
Boy, they had a ton of them out there. 32 coaches and managers.
Yep. I guess you got to do it somewhere along the way. This was the other.
Well, he had to, as general manager, get to know his people.
Yep. 2-1 pitch to Murphy. It's outside. It is 3-1. No place to put him without putting another run on the board for Oakland.
This is where the Sox staff, though, has had problems. Bob, as we pointed out, used to be able to come in with Hoyt and with Lamp, and they were very effective. But now in starting roles, the bullpen has been numerically reduced and reduced in quality.
Popped up foul, drifting out of play in the crowd. You know, there's Hickey out in the bullpen warming up. There, I saw him a couple of times, and it looked like he was going to be a world beater a couple of times I've seen him.
He's done a good job at times, Keith. It's just been a problem lately, pitching out of the bullpen, working out of the bullpen for the White Sox. And pitching supposedly is their strong suit. Yeah, one of the best in baseball.
A softball pitcher
out of Chicago.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch to Murphy. Swung on and foul back.
Maybe that's his game.
He really is quite a story.
Yeah.
A softball player coming into the major leagues and in a very relatively short time. Murphy hasn't been cheated here. He's had a couple of good whacks at Escarrega. He's got to throw a strike. No. Yes, he does. To get out of it, I should say.
Up the middle, base hit for Murphy. 1 run scores. Here comes the second run, and it's a 5-0 Oakland lead.
He took him to a 3-2 count, and Murphy ripped it up the middle. He got a breaking ball 3-2 and banged it up the middle. Another big 2-out base hit, Keith. All the Oakland scoring tonight after 2 were out. Henderson easily to third on that line drive hit to center, and Murphy at first.
Fisk going to the mound to talk to the pitcher as Cliff Johnson comes to the plate. Bernazard comes over from second base to be the interpreter.
I don't think you have to interpret too much about a line single to center. I think he pretty well knows what that.
Well, he tried to pitch him as carefully as possible, got himself to a 3-2, and then had to come with it. And Murphy just hung in and got it.
I got to believe Johnson against this guy, Keith, is going to have some tremendous rips. He throws a lot of breaking stuff, and I just got to believe that Johnson's going to have some big cuts here.
Lopes and Newman have scored now. Henderson's on third. Murphy on first. 2 out. 2 runs across. 5-0. A's lead. Escarrega in relief of Steve Trout. The Lopes run is charged to Trout. Murphy on first goes. Throw back to the mound. Cut off for the pitcher. And Henderson's having none of it.
You know, with Henderson at third, there's no way you can make a throw to second and get him coming.
No, of course not.
And he's going to stay at third. I mean, it's a patented play by everybody. Each club in the league does it now. Just throw back to the pitcher and have him cut it off. But he just doesn't run.
One of the oldest plays in baseball.
Henderson, big bounce off third. Breaking ball in for a strike to Johnson to make it 1-1 on Cliff. Just misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1, 2 on, 2 out, 2 in. High fly ball lifted out toward right center, where Harold Baines waits and makes the catch through his side of the side. But 2-run score for Oakland. They lead 5-0 right now. Let's check in at Olympic Stadium in Montreal with Al Michaels and find out what's going on between the Cardinals and the Expos.
And we want to welcome those of you who are watching the game between Oakland and Chicago at Comiskey Park. Montreal took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, but the Cardinals have come back with 2 here in the top of the 7th. And as you join us, Jim Fanning has just gone to the mound. The Cardinals have runners at first and third with 1 away, and Fanning is bringing in right-hander Ray Burris to work on pinch hitter Lonnie Smith. Now, for those of you who have not been with us, the game scoreless. Andujar and Sanderson locked up 0-0 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Montreal getting 2, and here was Hendrick just moments ago bouncing a single to right field. Cromartie coming up with the ball and getting it back in, but as Smith slid across the plate, the Cardinals had tied it. In a game in which Sanderson was rolling along, he was instrumental in scoring one of the Expo runs, but injured himself on a play at the plate, had to come out, and we're tied. So for those of you watching the A's and the White Sox, we'll send you back to Comiskey Park in Chicago.
All right, Al, 2-2 up in Montreal. Here it's 5-0 Oakland. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning for the Chicago White Sox, and all of the noise and hooting from the crowd here is for somebody who was trying to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball."
Yeah. What a disaster.
Greg Luzinski, Tom Paciorek, and Harold Baines are the scheduled hitters. There's the bull in the on-deck circle. In each ball game, the Sox pick a fan to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during the 7th inning stretch.
As soon as tonight's participant hit that first flat note, it was all over for him.
That's right.
Kid's a DJ from a local radio station in a small Illinois town. Tonight was his big night.
He ought to at least give his name. He needs a little help. All right, here's the bull with Paciorek following to the on-deck circle and Baines waiting. And on the mound, Rick Langford now sitting on a 5-0 lead. Langford has allowed only 3 base hits. No more than 1 base runner in an inning so far in the ball game. The pitch to Luzinski is on the outside corner for a strike ball.
Boy, he is working so easily tonight.
What a beautiful pitch that was.
Easy motion, pitching corners.
That shot up the middle and going to drop for a base hit. Armas over from right field, cuts it off. And Luzinski's on first base. And you don't think they don't have some speed in that outfield with those 3 guys out there?
And all with excellent throwing arms, Keith. All of them.
Hard to hit the gap with those guys.
That is the 4th base hit for the White Sox in the ball game. And here's Paciorek. Tom came in with 22 runs batted in, 3 homers, but a rather healthy batting average of .327. In the game tonight, Langford has handled it. Fly ball to center and grounded out to third. His brother Jim, an outfielder at Michigan, was named first-team All-American. And Tom lanes it to Klutz at third for the first out. And Tom was terribly curious if anything had happened for his brother today, and nothing did. He was not drafted yet.
Klutz has had a pretty active night.
Yep. He's had
especially with Paciorek and 1 lump. Paciorek almost took his chest off, but got thrown out. Then he hit that line shot.
Pitch to Baines in there for a strike. The #1 draft choice today by the Cubs was Sean Dunston, a shortstop.
Oh, the kid from Brooklyn.
Yeah, the kid from Thomas Jefferson High School in Brooklyn.
EJ.
High pop on the left side. Could be a play for Klutz. Mickey in foul ground under it. Makes the catch 2 down.
Keith, every time I see an infielder, somebody take a shot at a ground ball off the chest, it brings back such fond memories of Fenway Park in Boston when the coach took one for us.
I couldn't believe that you, a presumed major league catcher, would be under the table.
I couldn't believe how much it improved your chest the next day.
I took the blow. I did it my
That's
way.
right. You sure did, because we weren't doing it our way.
Yeah, but you were trying to steal his popcorn. Justice was served. High drive, left field for Punch Fisk. It is gone. Here's the scoreboard and the fireworks.
that Dwayne Murphy hit meant, my friend.
You betcha.
Instead of a one-run game, it's a three-run game.
That's the 15th home run this year given up by Langford. High fastball, and Fisk hit it.
So, while Langford settles himself after the home run by Pudge Fisk, you look at the pitch, it's right up in the wheelhouse. And Pudge got all of it. It is a 5-2 ball game. And Jerry Hairston has come out in the on-deck circle swinging the bat.
Normally, that thing only lasts about 30 seconds normally, but they've been on a road trip for about 8 days.
I'm not going to try to compete with that thing.
Great for the neighborhood, isn't it?
Sorry, your denture's loose. All right, Hairston steps in, hitting left-handed against Langford. And you go back to what Howard just said, how much that hit by Murphy means in the ball game now. Otherwise, it's a 3-2 ball game. Hairston hits a high pop left side. Newman comes over with clutch. It's well out of play. Hairston hitting left-handed. 231. Billy Martin is out at the mound now to have a chat with his pitcher.
Nothing going on in the Oakland bullpen right now. Martin just wants to try to settle Langford down. They've got the 3-run lead.
Martin goes back in a hurry. ABC News Nightline focusing on carrying out U.S. foreign policy through the UN tonight. It'll be seen 30 minutes after the conclusion of tonight's game, following your local news, except on the West Coast, where it'll be shown in its regularly scheduled time. Ed Koppel and Nightline. All right, Hairston back in there with a 1-strike count. You've got 2 out. 2 runs across for the White Sox on Fisk's home run, his 4th of the year. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike now.
Jerry Hairston, the son of a former White Sox minor league player. I believe he's now a scout for the White Sox. Sam Hairston, you remember him, Howard? Been around a long, long time in the White Sox organization.
That ball is well hit to the right side. It's gone.
Sure happened suddenly, didn't it? Just when you said he was working so easy.
There it is again, right down the pipe, and Hairston got it all. 16th home run given up by Langford this year. He had breezed through the first 6. And they got him here in the 7th. And the Oakland bullpen.
It stirred him up in a hurry, didn't it? So the gopher ball continues to haunt Rick Langford as Hairston comes off the bench with a .231 left-handed batting average and carries one out of here at about 365-70 feet. The batter now is the shortstop, Bill Allman. 5-3 ball game, and Allman swings and misses on a bad pitch.
That's just what he asked the umpire, Keith. He just said low and away.
Yep. Looked like it bounced. That's outside. 1-1.
Just as he seemed to be working easily when the inning started, he now appears to be laboring. And why not?
2-1, the count.
Montreal, the score is still 2-2. Bottom of the 7th is what they're playing.
Ochinko are up in the Oakland bullpen, and they are working quickly.
Rod Fowler, the pitching coach, next to Billy.
Al, after the leadoff single, Keith, by Lazinski, he got the next two batters, and again, the scoring after two were out.
Yep. Hart, by the way, is looking great. He's become very dapper.
Yeah, he's got a mustache.
That's good.
Sharp shot, Klutz, fine play at third base to get him by a step. But the Chicago White Sox get on board. Lazinski singles, Fisk homers, Hairston a solo homer. After 7, it is a 5-3 Oakland lead.
Chevy's out to blow away the confusion about pickups with the new Chevy S10.
Let's compare gas mileage. Toyota and Datsun can't match S10's EPA gas mileage ratings. The imports don't offer an optional V6. S10 does. The imports can only tow 2,000 pounds. S10 can tow twice that. Compare head and leg room, and S10 beats them again. The new size Chevy S10. There's never been a truck like it before.
Your father gave it to you for your 5th birthday. Now it's your turn to pass it on. Any spray paint could make it red again, but Rust-Oleum, with an average of 50% more protective ingredients than its nearest competitor, can do more. Its protective formula not only prevents rust, but gives metal better protection against chipping and peeling. So if what you're painting isn't ordinary, why should your paint be? Rust-Oleum. Any metal worth painting is worth protecting.
Lou,
Hiya!
do you do brake jobs?
Brakes, coffee breaks.
But can you guarantee a brake overhaul for 24,000 miles or 2 years?
2 years?
At Goodyear, when we overhaul your brakes, we back our good work with a written guarantee. A guarantee that's got our good name on it. Now, who else can give you that?
2 years? Give me a break.
For auto service that's guaranteed, come up to Goodyear.
There's your line score in the ball game for Oakland 5-9-0, Chicago 3-6-0. The White Sox getting the long ball in the bottom of the 7th inning to get 3 on the board. And we go now to Tony Armas, who has homered in the ball game for the A's. His 5th of the year, followed by Burroughs and then Klutz, and Vance Law has gone in to play third base for the Chicago White Sox. He came over from Pittsburgh, and yes, he is the son of the great Pirate pitcher Vernon Law.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad pitcher at all. Meridian, Idaho.
But to BYU.
For Vernon.
Exactly.
Pretty good in the 60 World Series, I'll tell you that.
Pops outside to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Escarrega on in relief of Trout. Trout still the pitcher of record for Chicago. Just low. Beard and Ochinko got up in a hurry in the Oakland bullpen. They've slowed down their pace some now. Popped him up. First baseman for Shorey. 1 out. Got him in on the hands, and he straight up with it.
He had a good pitch to hit, Keith, a hanging breaking ball, and actually jammed himself. A good ball to hit.
Here's Burroughs. Jeff 1 for 3.
Basically stays the same on every pitch. Once in a while, he'll try to come inside with that fastball, but it's not overpowering by any means. The slider and the curveball trying to keep it away from the right-handed batters.
base hit left field.
On a hanging breaking ball. Right down the middle.
Tell you, we've had a night of great third base play. A reminder of Nettles.
This guy's made a couple of good plays. He
Yes,
hasn't played
certainly
that much,
has.
and he's really come on to play.
And a reminder of the Oakland third base coach, Clete Boyer, for that.
Oh, he works with these guys, Howard, day in and day out. Mickey Klutz, Stanley. They sent out Jimmy Sexton yesterday.
That ball is hit high in the air to the right side for Baines. Harrell makes the catch. Medium depth. Whips it back in. The runner holds at first. 2 down. That brings up second baseman Davy Lopes. Davy has walked in 3 trips, so he's 0 for 2.
Wonder why the disparity between performance at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum and performance on the road.
More games on artificial surface on the road. They got natural turf at home.
Ross probably pressing a little bit.
I think he is. He's got a lot of heat on him, Keith.
I think so.
Kind of supposed to be a savior like second baseman for Oakland, but he hasn't played that well all year.
Big bouncer is foul at third. Law gloving it.
At Dodger Stadium, that ball might have stayed fair.
That's right. You know, but he took a lot of heat in Los Angeles, and he's kind of trying to redeem himself here with the Oakland A's. They've had a second base problem, and he's had a tough go of it.
The kid that replaced him in Los Angeles, Steve Sachs.
Yes, sir.
So far.
He had him on a game last year, Keith. He hit his first Major League home run against the Cardinals in St. Louis.
Program an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's stop 5 seconds right here to allow our local stations to tell you who they are.
KTNB TV, Las Vegas.
We are in the top of the 8th inning with the Oakland A's leading Chicago by a score of 5-3. On the fielder's choice, Lopes bouncing to the shortstop to get the lead runner Burroughs at second base to retire the side. And so the White Sox, who got a couple of home runs in the bottom of the 7th to fall within 2, will be coming up here in the bottom of the 8th.
Business. To be in the picture, you gotta be good.
Good and fast, like Canon's NP300F. 30 letter-sized copies a minute.
You gotta give and take.
Canon's 300F gives you reduction and document feeding. Even sorts it all out with optional sorter.
In today's leaner, trimmer business picture,
You need the good stuff.
and nothing but the Canon NP300F. Call toll-free for information or see your authorized Canon dealer.
Around the world, there's just one thing we do. Just one, senor.
We make the world's favorite chicken. We make it especially for you.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it right. No other fried chicken is so right.
Prepared by hand. What a lovely sight.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Suppose your loved one's heart and breathing stopped unexpectedly. Would you know what to do? The answer is CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
Don't stand by helplessly while a loved one is dying.
Help to save a life. Learn the life-saving techniques of CPR. Call your local chapter of the American Red Cross or the American Heart Association for information about CPR training.
Learn the life-saving skills of CPR and help save a loved one's life. Baseball cares.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Line score in the ball game, 5-3. Oakland over the White Sox. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. And the White Sox will have the top of the order coming up. LaFleur, Bernazard, and Kemp. Scores from around the American League and the National League. That's the final now. Seattle beating Texas 6-0 with Nelson a 2-hitter. Montreal and St. Louis still even. Pittsburgh, New York still even. Cincinnati out over San Diego, and Atlanta and Los Angeles just getting underway. LaFleur steps in now, and the home folks just under 17,000. Whooping it up a little bit, hoping they've still got some lightning to go against Rick Langford, who was sailing along with a 3-hitter until the bottom of the 7th inning. He's low and away for ball 1 as he delivers to LaFleur. Of course, all the stations across the country, ABC affiliates, will have the local news for you just as soon as our ball game is over. And when the local news is finished, ABC News Nightline will come along. 5-3 ball game. Last time up, LaFleur got a butt down for a base hit, hits this one deep to the right side. Armas goes to the wall, jumps, and he can't hang on. LaFleur turns second. He's going for third. That'll make no throw. It's a triple. Armas got his glove on it looked like, but he couldn't haul it down as he banged into the wall.
I don't know if a fan reached down and interfered with him at all, Keith. We'll see here in a moment. Langford, a breaking ball on the floor deep to right field. A fine effort here by Armas up against the wall. The fans up there reaching down or not? Somebody got that ball.
Like
somebody hit that ball.
Absolutely.
Somebody hit that ball.
And no protest anyway.
I'm surprised Armas didn't say anything. Let's see here. Umpire was out there. No beef from Armas. The hands are out over the wall.
No, he didn't. He missed. Fan missed it. Looked to me like the guy reaching for it out of the stands didn't get it. And Tony couldn't see it.
Tony, evidently not.
He wasn't on line with the ball.
Greg Koss, the umpire, was out there. Billy Martin now out of the dugout and on the way to the mound. We had Beard and Ochinko warming up in the bullpen for the Oakland A's in the last inning. And it looks like we're going to get a change of pitchers. And if we do, it looks like it will be Dave Beard.
Billy's in a bit of a spot here, Keith. Now, both of these guys worked twice in the series in Milwaukee. Beard worked a couple of innings on Friday, then started the Saturday game when McCaddy came up with a bad arm. Ochinko worked in 2 ball games. But when McCaddy came up with a bad arm and the pitching change going to be made here, it's going to be Beard, I believe.
Yep. So the right-hander, Dave Beard, comes on here in the 8th inning. Nobody out. LaFleur on third base, and we'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local stations.
The trials and triumphs of Tammy Wynette on 2020 Thursday.
From News 13 tonight, fighting escalated in southern Lebanon today. Israel says its forces took the city of Tyre. Details on this and more news tonight at 11.
My daddy's foot hurts in bed. Can you help?
Honey, bring your daddy in. Doctors will see you right away.
Okay.
And again with another first. The Spring Mountain Foot Clinic is offering free diagnostic examinations from 12 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 9 to 3 on Saturdays.
Thank goodness.
For Spring Mountain Foot Clinic.
They care about your foot problems.
Spring Mountain Road, near Decatur.
KTNV TV, Las Vegas.
Oakland A's, and we have a discussion going on the edge of the outfield grass between the Oakland A's and the umpiring crew. In looking again at the triple by LaFleur, it almost looks as if the possibility existed the ball struck someone in the stands and bounced back.
Exactly, Keith. I don't know why Armas didn't grump right away or gripe right away. get a look at it one more time. That man in the yellow shirt.
That's the guy.
That ball evidently, or it looks like it bounced off of him and back into play. That ball looked like it was a home run. There it is, coming back off of him into play.
It was certainly over the yellow line. Look at his shirt.
The indentation to his shirt. There it is. And the ball bouncing back off again.
That being
there
the
it is.
case, it should be a home run.
Home run. There it is. Watch the indentation on his shirt. There it is. And the ball come right out of it. There it is. Above the yellow line, and that should have been a home run.
That looks like a home run.
The argument
no matter
is over
how many
anyway.
times we play it with that brilliant technical work, it's going to stay the same way, and LaFleur's going to stay on third base. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah, but this game couldn't live if you couldn't have a little second guessing.
That's right.
Meantime, we're verging on a one-run game, and suddenly, for the first time in a long number of days, the Sox are hitting the ball and hitting for distance.
Dave Beard is on now with a record of 4-2, making his 17th appearance of the season. And Bernazard, the second baseman, is up there, takes it high and tight.
Now, when we were in Arizona at spring training, this was the kid that Billy was so high on.
He's got outstanding stuff, Howard. He's got a good fastball, excellent fastball, slider, curve. He's got all the pitches. My question here is, as I said a moment ago, he pitched twice in that series in Oakland and worked as a starter, first in relief, and then started. And we talked earlier about tired arms, possibly. Here he is again, working for the third time in 3 days.
Bucks, by the way, have taken a one-run lead over the Mets as the Mets bat in the bottom of the 12th.
The pitch is high to Bernazard. 3 balls and no strikes. The tying run, standing at the plate, Steve Kemp is on deck for Chicago. The White Sox bats were virtually silent until the bottom of the 7th. A pair of single by Luzinski, a home run by Fisk, a home run by pinch hitter Jerry Hairston, now a triple by LaFleur in the bottom of the 8th, and Bernazard takes it outside for ball 4. So the tying run is on first base. And Billy Martin comes in a hurry out of the dugout.
No further activity in the Oakland bullpen. Ochinko is not up. Martin evidently is going to stay with Beard.
You see Billy say, take your time.
That's right.
Settle down.
Nothing else you can do in this situation.
That's right.
You've got to throw strikes. That's it.
Tough customer coming to the plate. Number 3 man in the batting order for Chicago, Steve Kemp.
He's been hitting the ball all over the ballpark for distance, but he hasn't been able to find the space.
Well, he hit a line shot deep to left last time that Henderson had to go all the way to the wall to get and go way up in the air to get.
And he hit one back to the center field wall, you'll recollect.
Luzinski to the on-deck circle. Nobody out, bottom of the 8th inning. 5-3 Oakland lead. Kemp looks, it's high. Ball 1. Another one of Rod Bato's boys in Major League. Out of USC. Swing and a miss. I'll tell you this.
Smoked that one.
Kemp had a bad cut. Kemp had a bad cut that time.
Tad late, I say. Well, he went for a high fastball that time.
Ball 2.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Beard not messing around with any breaking stuff. Billy Martin very anxiously looking on now. 5-3 Oakland here in the 8th inning.
Martin's in a state of shock.
All heart stuff here.
Inside. 2-2.
It's a great challenge here, Keith. You're Steve Kemp now. He's a good fastball hitter, and Beard just bringing it on to him, challenging one after another.
Fouled away.
There's activity now in the Oakland bullpen. Somebody is up out there. It's tough to see here. see Dave
Rojas
Beard.
is one of them for Chicago, and McLaughlin for Oakland. It's the center field, line shot right to the center fielder Murphy. LaFleur tags and canters home. It's a 5-4 ball game. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Kick. One out.
And Beard now facing two right-handers. Bo McLaughlin in the Oakland bullpen right now. Luzinski and Pachorik, two right-handers now on against Beard, who is throwing nothing but hard stuff.
Let's go Bull is the chant. Started growing that beard because he was in a slump. Hit a home run. The first day he grew it. Going to shave it off, hit two more homers. So the beard becomes the principal accoutrement in the Luzinski arsenal.
Hirsuteness, however, I'm not so sure is becoming. Foul ball right side. Bernazard is on first base, representing the tying run in this ball game. The Bull goes back to the bat rack. Now LaFleur is beefing.
LaFleur is showing his anger. He thinks he had a home run. We just told this.
Well, he's right.
By the cameraman we have over there who overheard him. And off what we could see, LaFleur is absolutely right. However, the run has scored.
So Greg now with a new stick comes to the plate with one out. And the tying run and Bernazard at first base in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dave Beard wings him, and Luzinski is on first base, hit by the pitcher. Just nipped it. And as hard as Beard is throwing, it's a good thing for Luzinski. He did just nip it.
High inside fastball got him.
Yeah,
he is on now, the lead run.
The Bull acted as if didn't even feel it.
He's all jacked up. He's not going to rub.
Huh?
I tell you, they got a good situation here with Pachorik on. 2 on. And a guy who gets the bat on the ball, having a good year, hitting at .327 starting tonight's game. And has hit the ball well.
Luzinski has called time at first. He's going toward the dugout.
Pinch runners. Pinch runner.
Jimmy Morrison?
Yeah, I think so.
When he singled to open the 7th, the Bull, LaRussa wisely eschewed the pinch runner then. He wanted to keep the Bulls bat in the lineup. They were trailing then by 5. Now they trail by 1.
Morrison goes to first base. Jim Morrison, third baseman over there, is the pinch runner. And the pitch to Tom Pachorik, a breaking pitch that snaps outside. A hard slider. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. Ball is hit in the air to center field. Not too deep, and Murphy makes the catch. 2 down. So now Beard within 1 of putting out the fire here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Going against left-handed batting Harold Baines now with 2 men out. Billy staying with the right-hander.
Well, he had McLaughlin up in the pen. Ochenko had sit down.
A right-hander. Ochenko was up earlier and has been seated.
So here's Harold Baines now, who won a ball game for them in Texas. The only game on a 9-game road trip with a home run. Hits a high bouncer. The first baseman comes across, picks it off. Johnson flips to the pitcher covering. It was close at first, but they do get him. So the Chicago White Sox get 1 more run in the bottom of the 8th. They have 1 more time at bat coming up in the bottom of the 9th. It's 5-4 Oakland.
Here's 2 good friends tonight.
Haven't they been down there long enough?
I know how to get them up.
must say something more.
What are you doing? Fishing.
So tonight, let it be low and brown.
When you want a taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be low and brown.
Why were you guys down there so long?
Just waiting for a good reason to come up.
Let it be low and brown.
What made Chevy Chevette the best-selling small car in America last year?
All the standard features: reclining front seat, AM radio, shift console, white striped tires, fold-down rear seat, and lots of other things.
Is it Chevette's great gas mileage? A big 30 EPA estimated miles per gallon, 42 estimated highway.
Could it be Chevette's low price? It's still one of the lowest priced Ford or hatchback sold in America, foreign or domestic.
That sounds like a tough value to beat.
That's Chevy Chevette.
The United States Open is an American tradition. In its history, 4 men have won 4 times. Willie Anderson in 1905, Bobby Jones in 1930 also became the only man ever to win golf's Grand Slam. Ben Hogan won 4 despite a near-fatal accident. Only one man has a chance to win 5. Jack Nicklaus returns to the site of his 3rd victory, Pebble Beach. 4-day coverage begins June 17th, including live 18-hole action on the final 2 rounds. The U.S. Open on ABC.
5-4 ball game, and Escarrega stays out on the mound for the Chicago White Sox here in the top of the 9th inning, and he will be pitching to Jeff Newman, Fred Stanley, and Rickey Henderson.
But Hickey has been working in the bullpen. A southpaw pitcher, former softball pitcher.
Third baseman Vance Law throws him out. 1 down for Fred Stanley. Local news following as soon as the game is complete, and will be followed by ABC News Nightline. West Coast will have it a regular time. We are in Chicago at Comiskey Park, ballpark that was built at as proximate as possible to a confluence of streetcar tracks.
Excellently
1910.
stated. Ballpark 72 years old. First All-Star game ever played was played here 49 years ago.
Breaking pitch is in. 1-1.
Vinny Minoso is back.
Yeah, it was nice to see, wasn't it? Yeah.
Talking about old days here at White Sox Park.
That's foul in the crowd.
Exciting player, Minnie.
Chicago scoring coming late. 3 in the bottom of the 7th, 1 in the 8th. They trail by 1, and Escarrega trying to hold Oakland here in the top of the 9th. And he gets Stanley looking for the 2nd out. So Fred's gone, and we go to Rickey Henderson.
Little off-speed pitch that time, straight change, and got the outside corner. Stanley upset that the pitch was there. I want to see this guy run tonight. Haven't had a chance to watch him run.
Well, we saw him. He tried to steal 3rd. He used the head-first diving slide and overslid the bag. He overslid the bag, but you saw him run.
They got him.
That's like telling Skeets Nehemiah he didn't run in the low.
Skeets Nehemiah is going to be doing a lot of running this fall. And a lot of people chasing him
maybe
again, too.
For his life.
That's right. San Francisco 49ers.
Henderson in. Escarrega delivers inside corner, strike ball. You don't think there aren't a few cornerbacks in the National Football League looking forward to that? Steer Skeets is looking forward to it himself.
He wants a new rule. He wants high hurdles in the secondary.
No, not the high hurdles.
There'll be some hurdles out there, all right. Mean ones. 1-1. Big hole left center for him. Center fielder, LaFleur shading him well toward right.
Montreal and St. Louis in a burner. 2-2 in the bottom of the ninth.
Cardinals leading the East 4.5.
Yeah, they ever running.
Yes, sir.
Herzog smiling.
2 balls and 1 strike to Henderson. Lines to Law. The inning is over. Escarrega does his job. Top of the 9th inning. Gets him in order. And so we go to the last chance for the White Sox with Oakland leading 5-4. Back after this message and a word from our local station.
To a lot of people, there is only one thing better than the Firestone 721 tire. A Firestone 721 sale. Now you can get our best-selling radio at our lowest selling prices in over a year. The famous Firestone 721 steel-belted radial tire is now as low as $54.95. The Firestone 721, the tire everyone wished would go on sale, just did. For a limited time only at all Firestone stores and participating dealers.
No son of mine should have nicks and cuts on his face. So I gave him a Norelco. Protects that gorgeous mugger and gives him a good clean shave, smooth and close as a blade. I like the Norelco because it protects my little Jerry Cooney.
And I like the Norelco because it makes me look like a real gentleman.
Isn't he a knockout?
Norelco Rotatract. Tough on your beard, not on your face.
Jonathan's the victim of a ghost's revenge.
I'm blind.
On Heart to Heart.
Come on down to the sports. We'll get the bingo palace. You can bet you can get in the game. The palace is the place to play your favorite part. Like you're on a baseball diamond or a basketball court. In a ring or on a football field, you're one of the pros. You'll be up there on that contract winning wins by the nose. Might even find fortune and fame. Come to the palace and get in the game. The bingo palace. You can bet you can get in the game.
KTNV TV, Las Vegas.
Damoon over Chicago.
My kind of town. Chicago.
There we see the flag up there.
Looks green.
By the way, fellas, Warren Cromartie has just hit a home run in the bottom half of the 9th inning, and the Expos have beaten the Cardinals 3-2.
St. Louis losing.
Suitor, huh?
Yeah, St. Louis losing 2 out of 3 to Los Angeles at home over the weekend, too. Let's see now. The left-hander would be Ochinko, and the right-hander possibly McLaughlin.
Right.
That's who it is. All right, we'll see what happens here as Carlton Fisk is scheduled up. He will come. Vance Law is out on deck with a bat. It's possible if Fisk could get something going, we could get a runner for him. We could get a hitter for Law. Mike Squires is on the bench, a left-handed hitting first baseman.
The sign speaks for itself in the left field stand.
Fisk has hit a 2-run home run.
Carlton has responded to it, the once that Keith just mentioned. Now they implore him to do it again.
Do you?
Extra innings?
He got his swing all right.
He's going after some heat.
I'll tell you, this kid is
great
good.
fastball.
He can throw.
Hit to left.
That's it.
Hit well to left. It's tied. Upper deck.
Threw the fastball, and Fisk nailed it. He was upstairs with it. He got it all upper deck again.
He keeps missing the sign.
He sure does. Down below.
Whoever said he needed the green monster? Billy, of course. Shell shock. Can't believe what's happened. Leading 5-0. Going into the bottom of the 7th. Langford in apparent total control. And then suddenly, all that you have seen as the White Sox have reverted to the hitting form that they manifested in the early season. Just 2 weeks ago, the White Sox in first place by a game and a half in their division.
Vance Law is hitting. It's all tied at 5-5. 1-1. Carlton Fisk getting home runs 4 and 5 in tonight's game, accounting for 3 of Chicago's 5 runs. 2-1 the count on Law.
Well, these are some frustrating times for the Oakland A's, Keith, coming off a very tough homestand. Howard mentioned a moment ago a 5-0 lead, and now back to even.
But a player like Fisk, don't look at averages. That man is so critical to a ball club. He leads a club. He inspires it.
3 balls and 2 strikes now to Vance Law, the line score in the game.
Excuse me, Keith, looking fastball, he got it and ripped it.
Punch foul. Right side.
You commented earlier, Uke, on what a thoughtful man in his expression Fisk is. We were talking about the tragic death of umpire Lou DeMuro today. And he said, I feel much the way I felt when Thurman Munson died. Finish this in a moment.
Ball is lifted out into center field for Wayne Murphy.
He said, I have as much love for a worthy adversary, speaking of Munson, as I have for a dear friend. And in Mr. DeMuro's case, he was never an adversary. He was always in command of the game, a perfect gentleman.
The shortstop, Bill Allman. Low bridge, ball 1.
A breaking ball that time, a slider that got away from Beard up around the bill of the batting helmet to Allman.
Allman has hit 3 home runs on the season. He has a double in 3 trips tonight. And he fouls that in the crowd up on the roof out of play. One out as Allman takes it to make it 2-2. Ron LaFleur is in the on-deck circle. Bottom of the 9th inning. High ball game, 5-5.
It's turned out to be a dilly.
There's Ronnie. Allman letting Beard work, goes to 3-2.
He's really overthrowing, Keith. You see that back leg, his trailing leg coming across, and he's trying to overthrow, and he's becoming wild here. Not coming through. He is finishing upstairs, up high.
That's fouled off.
Swung at ball 4.
Swung at ball 4, absolutely.
It was high.
You watch him come through with his follow-through. He's standing almost straight up in the air, and that back leg is really coming across. Instead of following through and planting down and pulling through his delivery, caused him to be upstairs. Sitting on a 3-2 pitch, you got to be looking fastball, let her rip.
Missed. So the winning run is on first base. Or the potential winning run. And now Ron LaFleur, who had a triple and a single, and the triple could have been and should have been a home run. He did score after the triple. They pitch out. Allman's not going anywhere.
Not a bad call by Jeff Newman. Allman with pretty good speed, and LaFleur can hit the ball to right field.
Yep. That's where he hit his triple. Runner is not going. LaFleur swings and misses on a pitch that's outside. The Oakland pitching staff has now allowed 69 home runs this season. Only the Minnesota Twins have allowed more. Keeping Allman close at first.
You can get a look at the Oakland outfield here, Keith, to see how far around toward right field they play LaFleur.
Yeah, he's got an acre
field's
over
wide
that
open.
side. Yep.
Center fielder Murphy. Look where Henderson is off the line and left. Now look at Murphy, well into right center, and Armas only about 60 feet off the line and right.
The pitch is up high. So Beard now really struggling. 2-1. Home run by Fisk to tie. Got Law on a soft liner to center. Allman has walked. It's a 2-1 count for LaFleur. Spencer is at first base now for Oakland. Fine glove man. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled away down the right side.
LaFleur is seeing a steady diet of hard stuff. They're playing him around as we send toward right field. Anything off speed that's going to give him a chance to pull the ball. Allman would have a chance to score with Henderson playing that far off the line in left field.
Runner does not go. LaFleur takes it on the outside corner for a strike, and he's out of there, and he's got some words for Nick Bremigan.
LaFleur thought it was outside. Let's check it. It was a fastball from Beard.
LaFleur may be right again.
Gone on strikes, I guess if you can reach them, they're hittable. And he could have probably reached it, but it might have been outside. It was outside.
No, Charlie Lau's teaching him bat extension. Says the bat should be out by a half-inch further than it's been.
All he's got to do is go to a 37-incher. That'll extend
But
it.
you've got two out now for the left-handed hitting Tony Bernasard, the second baseman.
Well, would you send Allman
Yes.
down? I would.
Yes.
You've got to try to get him in scoring position.
Newman thinks he's going to.
Well, let's have a look at his running. Ball is hit. Well to left. Henderson back there hauls it down. And so the winning run dies on base. And we're going to go extra inning. In Chicago, Oakland 5, the White Sox 5.
What made Chevy Chevette the best-selling small car in America last year?
All the standard features: reclining front seat, AM radio, shift console, white stripe tires, fold-down rear seat, and lots of other things.
Is it Chevette's great gas mileage? A big 30 EPA estimated miles per gallon, 42 estimated highway.
Could it be Chevette's low price? It's still one of the lowest priced four-door hatchbacks sold in America, foreign or domestic.
That sounds like a tough value to beat.
That's Chevy Chevette.
Here's two good friends. Tonight is kind of
Hey, whoa! Camp's back there.
Guys, after 3 days of nothing but fish, I vote for a change of the menu. Besides, it's our last night. It's my boat.
All right, so where are we going?
I know a guy down here that serves up a really good steak and a terrific Lowenbrow.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
You guys have any luck today?
Not until now.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
Wednesday. Something's very wrong.
Hey!
People are changing, and no one knows why.
Ralph, what are you doing?
No one but the greatest American hero. And a romantic rendezvous is the trap for a traitor.
How long do you think I can use this poor guy's bait?
On the Fall Guy.
Call Carlton Fisk. What's the value of a man like that to a ball club? Well, you've seen him tonight. I asked Tony La Russa's manager that very question. Is Fisk your field leader? Has he become that?
I think so, Howard. He is everything we hoped he would be, especially defensively. We needed somebody to handle our young pitching, and I think with the extra year that he had, you can see it this year. He has a better idea about our particular guys.
Pre-game comments of the White Sox manager Tony La Russa relative to Carlton Fisk, whose home run in the bottom of the ninth inning tied the ball game at 5-5. The last time Pudge had 2 home runs in a single ball game was September 27 last year, and it was against these Oakland A's. And you have Tony La Russa going to the mound now to talk to Escarrega. He also has people in the bullpen all warmed up, and he's going to bring in Kevin Hickey, the left-hander, to pitch to Dwayne Murphy. Jim Spencer is now at first base for Oakland. He's a left-handed hitter. And then Tony Armas. So Kevin Hickey comes in to make his 18th appearance of the season. He's been busy. He's pitched pretty well. And while he's warming up, let me tell you about Saturday here on ABC Sports. We'll have a history of the U.S. Open at 2:30 Eastern and Pacific, 1:30 Central. That has to do with the U.S. Open golf tournament, which is coming up on the weekend of the 17th. And it, of course, starts on Thursday, the preceding Thursday. We'll have the Professional Bowlers Spring Tour, the City of Roses Open out of Portland, Oregon, followed by ABC's Wide World of Sports, in which you will see a WBA World Light Heavyweight Championship bout. Michael Spinks defending against Jerry Celestine. Celestine getting the opportunity to challenge for the title when Johnny Davis came up with a stress fracture. And then the Holmes-Cooney summation from Las Vegas with Howard. They're fighting on Friday night. Parking lot at Caesar's Palace.
Should be fascinating. Of course, Michael Spinks is kind of special. The most overlooked of the American fighters at Montreal, you'll recollect.
Yep.
He got bye after bye after bye, and we did a fun piece with him. Jim McKay did, showing his arm being raised in victory when the opponent wasn't there.
He's one of those kind of fighters that just gets tougher and stronger as it wears on.
Oh, he's good. He's got a disguised right hand in the manner that Jimmy Ellis did when Jimmy was a very effective light heavyweight. You don't see it until it's on you, and then you're gone. Good knockout power. Proved his left hook against Harold Johnson.
All right, here's the hometowner, Kevin Hickey, on the mound now for the Chicago White Sox. Left-hander against the left-handed hitting Dwayne Murphy. Murphy had the big hit in the ball game for the Oakland A's. Got it back in the 7th inning, which gave them their 5 runs. Produced runs 4 and 5. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kevin Hickey, the young man they were talking about a moment ago, who had pitched softball right in this neighborhood, came out for a tryout. They signed him. He got $500 and made it to the big leagues in 4 years.
Matter of fact, last year, his first spring training with the White Sox.
That ball is hit foul on the roof out of play.
Keith, he went down in the equipment truck. That's how anxious he was to get there.
Baltimore beat the Brewers. Toronto beat the Indians. Kansas City had to go into extra innings. They've taken a 1-run lead over the Twins. Gene Nelson pitched brilliantly. Seattle shut out Texas. Montreal beat St. Louis. Pittsburgh beat the Mets. San Diego now leads the Reds, and the Dodgers lead Atlanta.
Popped up. Foul ground. Fisk coming back. Has a chance. Makes the catch. 1 out. In the top of the 10th inning. Now it is Spencer, Jim Spencer, coming out. He took over at first base in the bottom of the 9th in relief of Cliff Johnson. Hasn't done much with the bat so far in 82. Been on the disabled list. Was on the DL most of May with some strained ligaments. But he was put at first base by Billy Martin because of his glove.
A couple of veteran players on this club, Keith, along with Spencer. Joe Rudy having a tough time. offensively. A lot of young people on this club, but there are a lot of veterans here, too.
Yeah, they had to have Joe. Joe's played some first base. He had to go into right, and Armas got hurt.
Lopes played center field when Murphy was out of the lineup a couple of weeks ago.
One strike pitch to Spencer is on the outside corner for strike two. Jimmy didn't like it too much. Everybody guarding the lines at this point in the ball game. Extra innings, top of the 10th. One out, nobody aboard. Kevin Hickey, the third Chicago pitcher. Strike three, called.
Well, for those two batters anyway, La Russa looks very good. Putting in Hickey.
I don't know if this is a striker now that the pitch is high enough. It had the corner for Spencer. Hickey threw two of them back-to-back in the same spot. I don't think that's a strike. It is now, though.
Tony Armas. With two out. Tony has a home run in the ball game, hit it in the 6th inning.
And has hit two in a game a number of times. Quite capable of doing it again.
Chicago will have Kemp, Luzinski, and well, it won't be Luzinski. He's out of there. But they'll have Kemp and Paciorek, Baines, and whoever Tony La Russa decides to go with in Luzinski's spot.
This kid's got some gas, Hugh.
Yeah, he does. He throws pretty well, Howard. He's got a good slider and a breaking ball. And he, you know, for a guy who hasn't played that much and came to the big leagues relatively quick, he's got a pretty good idea of what he's doing. Here's another guy that Fisk has got to help.
That one's high. 2-1. Next Monday night, we'll have the Red Sox and the Yankees from New York. We'll have the Mets and Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh. Three River Stadium. Check your local listing.
You'll be in
area.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, I will. Big bouncer to the shortstop, Allman. He's got the long throw from the edge of the outfield grass, and he gets it. So a 5-5 ball game. We're going to the bottom of the 10th inning. Back with more after this word from our local station.
Tomorrow, President Reagan addresses the British Parliament. Our coverage begins at 6:30 a.m. on Good Morning America.
In today's financial climate, you can really count on the First Team for individual retirement accounts to suit your individual needs. Unlike most IRAs, First Interstate Bank offers you several options. So come in out of the rain. Save $10, $100, up to $2,000 a year. It's all tax sheltered until you retire. New IRAs of First Interstate. Stop by and get the details. Member FDIC, penalty for early withdrawal.
Come on and change to Smith.
Change for extra savings on extra strength Dexatrim Appetite Control Capsules. You save $1.72 when you combine Smith's low price of $2.97 with Dexatrim's $1 cash refund. Save 40 cents on Farrah Fawcett 15-ounce shampoo and cream rinse conditioner and 9-ounce hairspray. All with vitamins and minerals with Smith's low price of just $1.29. Now at all Smith stores.
For weather, it's Eric Randall on News 13.
We go to the bottom of the 10th, and here are the people coming to the plate for Chicago. Steve Kemp will lead it off. Morrison right now would be the man in Luzinski's spot, and he's out there swinging the bat, loosening up. Then Paciorek. And on the mound, it is Dave Beard. It becomes now a question of how long Billy Martin wants to let this big right-handed reliever go.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, Keith. He worked a couple of tough innings his first time against Milwaukee, then came back and started. He's working now in his third tonight. And as you said, it's a question of how long he can go and if he's going to lose it.
And
lose it quickly.
Got a tough cookie here. Those fans out in left field are not uninteresting. They have some nice signs.
Yes, they are.
Kemp has hit 3 home runs this season. In the ball game tonight, he's hit 3 fly balls to the outfield. One of them a long liner, one of them a sacrifice fly.
This is pitch right here. 2-0.
Walks away shaking his head.
Yeah, he's downstairs. Bremigan has been downstairs with the calls all night long. He's consistent anyway. Beard wants to throw inside. Now Newman called time. Newman put the sign down, and Beard wanted him to go inside with the target. Newman wanted to pitch away. Thinking behind Jeff Newman's theory, the fact that if you give Kemp a ball inside that he can really turn around and crank out of here, hit out of here, have a chance to hit out of here anyway. You can hit it for the distance. Please deposit baseball here.
Inside. 2-2.
That's a tough pitch to hit.
Little.
Inside.
A little bit. Well, Beard got his pitch inside anyway.
Yeah.
That's a bouncer to the second baseman, Lopes. Throws him out. 1 away.
Big guy to get by, I'll say that.
Now it's Jim Morrison.
A guy that can sting you every once in a while.
This kid has occasional
power. Yep.
Breaking ball. Good for a strike.
Intense young man.
This game maybe up to Fisk again his next time up. Following inning.
This time he may give it to the fans in the lowest one.
Count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jim Morrison. Tom Paciorek is on deck. Morrison's gone. 2 down.
Handled him nicely.
Second strikeout for Dave Beard. Got him on a good curveball.
Paciorek with the happiest batting order in the Chicago lineup starting tonight at 3.27. Has homered 3 times on the year. That's a little tap past the mound. Third baseman whips it. Got him.
Nifty inning for the young pitcher.
Klutz makes the play. Inning is over. Gone in order. Still 5-5 going to the top of the 11th. Second home run in the ball game by Carlton Fisk. Tied it in the 9th inning. The Chicago White Sox are right now looking at a very important time in their 1982 baseball season because they are in a stretch now of playing 32 ball games against Western Division opposition. They will not meet an American League Eastern Division team until the 5th of July. And this is the first meeting of the season between these two clubs. Kevin Hickey, the third Chicago pitcher, works the Burrows for a strike.
ironic tonight, Keith. The Oakland A's, prior to tonight's game, had lost the lead in games 4 times in the 9th inning. Did it tonight for the 5th time.
That's fouled off. Barojas is now in the Chicago bullpen again. Second time he's been up. Hickey goes high and away to make it 1-2. There's Salome Barojas, who has been the most active of the Chicago relievers. This is Hickey's 18th appearance, and he burns it high and away to make it 2-2. To the shortstop, Allman. One out for Mickey Klutz.
All the heavy gunning in this game has been done by Chicago since the 7th. 8th inning for the Oakland A's. They haven't hit a ball good, really, in the air anyway. Henderson hit the line drive in the 9th to end it. Did 3rd, but that's been it.
Klutz's biggest contribution to the ball game tonight for Oakland has been his defensive play at 3rd. Mickey takes it high and away.
He is really sparkling. Marvelous play at 3rd by both teams.
That's foul ball.
One of the great pieces of baseball literature ever written was written by a remarkable writer who now lives in Dorset, Vermont. His name is W.C. Hines. And when he wrote about the October 3rd, 1951, the Giants-Dodgers game, won by the Thompson home run, he focused in on the 2 third basemen, each of whom had remarkable games defensively, Billy Cox and Bobby Thompson. We've had something similar here tonight. In just one game of 162, you can suddenly focus in on some really extraordinary play.
When you look at this Oakland club, too, you got to wonder if Billy Martin is ever going to be able to go with a set lineup.
High fly ball, left side. Kemp is there. 2 down. Davy Lopes is scheduled up next.
Will you admit, Keith, that I call this game for extra innings?
How many is what I want to know.
Yeah, how many? Tell us now, so we can order the hamburger.
Might be 17.
Egad. Davy Lopes. 0-1 to him. Trout started. Escarrega followed him. Worked 3. Now Hickey comes on in the 10th for Chicago. Now working the 11th. And Barojas is up in the Chicago pen. And Hickey, who was throwing bullets when he first came into the ball game, is now fetching around, throwing softer stuff. And he's behind the Lopes, 2-0. 3-0.
Starting to guide the ball a little bit.
He's walked 15 in 25 1/3 innings. So Tony's on the phone.
Rojas ready?
Yep. Just checking. 15 walks in 25 1/3. That's a pretty good ratio of walks. for innings pitched. It's now 3-1.
With both teams struggling recently, this game takes on an added importance.
Yeah, it turned out to be a good ball game, too.
Even at this stage of the season.
He walks Davy Lopes. First pass issued by Hickey. Now he's got to be looking at Jeff Newman.
And he's got a tough cookie in this kid.
Just thinking LaRussa might have gone to the bullpen with Newman coming on, but apparently not. He will stay with the left-hander.
I don't know yet.
Stanley, a right-handed batter, due next.
Lopes on the bases has stolen 13. He's been caught 6 times.
Couple of balls here, and I think he'll bring Rojas in a hurry. Absolutely, I would send Lopes now.
I don't know what kind of a move Kevin Hickey has. We'll find out in a minute. Lopes is getting a good lead at first.
Well, Newman had a downtown swing. Well, the information is that Hickey has a pretty good move.
Lopes is getting a decent lead against him. If he throws his good one or not. Just a lob toss or his good move. A 5-6-step lead by Lopes. That's average. Billy Martin, Art Fowler.
Going.
Tell you, Keith, he's bringing it on fairly decent now to Newman. He's reaching back for a little extra. He faltered momentarily against Lopes, but he's coming back with good fastballs now.
Program an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Let's take 5 seconds here to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
KTNV TV, Las Vegas.
5-5 ball game. Top of the 11th inning. The local news coming just as soon as our game is done. A 2-strike count on Jeff Newman, the Oakland catcher. Davy Lopes edges off first. He wasn't going. He was leaning back toward first base.
He threw a pitch out that time, and not a very good pitch out either. Fisk had to come back down to grab it.
Drops, Lopes scores, but Harold Bain's speed runs it down, and so we go to the bottom of the 11th, a 5-5 tie. Well, the Chicago White Sox have some home run swings coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Harold Baines, Carlton Fisk, who has already hit 2, and Vance Law now playing third base. Fourth hitter would be Bill Allman, and it's the bottom of the order. Beard is out there. Beard came on in the 8th inning in relief of Langford, the starter for Oakland. He has had to work hard, and he comes out of a homestand by Oakland in which they lost 7 out of 10. He worked hard in the homestand.
Keith, you go back to the 8th inning. He allowed the 1 run. That was charged to Langford after the LaFleur triple, but he labored in the 8th. He walked Bernazard. They got the sac fly from Kemp. He then hit Luzinski with a pitch before working out of it. A leadoff home run by Fisk in the 9th. Worked a 1-2-3-10.
Well, Baines won one for them with a big one in Texas. Harold has hit 5 this season. He has a double in tonight's ball game. He's been to the plate 4 times. He swings and fouls it away. In 1982, this is the 17th time Oakland has gone 3 hours or more in a game, and it's the 19th time the White Sox have played more than 3 hours.
Finals being flashed before you. Kansas City did win that game.
And they will stay in first place. Bouncer to the right side, over the glove of Spencer, base hit right field. So the winning run now is on first base. Harold Baines, and he has speed. Here's Carlton Fisk. This is what Fudge did back in the 7th inning to get Chicago on the scoreboard. He hit it in the upper deck for 2. Then in the 9th inning, off Beard again, upper deck, tie, 5-5.
You give him a shot here, Keith? You give him a shot here? And then have him lay one down or not?
I think that would be reasonable logic.
Why not?
You'd have him lay it down?
Right yet. Huh?
You'd have him lay it down?
Let him take one whack and then bunt.
I can see why you're not managing.
There, you got to have that man at second base.
National League Finals.
That pitch is outside.
San Diego. Yeah, they've been amazing.
They played good. They played very well.
Rupert Jones.
Tearing them up.
Ex-Yankees are cleaning up.
Kennedy has turned out to be a heck of a ball player. Catcher for him. Terry Kennedy. Pitch out. Baines isn't going.
A funny call by Jeff Newman that time. He's put Beard down behind 2-0.
He's in trouble now.
In a situation where you've got to come in with a strike now, and Fisk with a chance to swing once, possibly before he does bunt. I don't know, kind of a funny call, but see what happens here. He had the rip is right.
And he had to pitch up.
He got the fastball upstairs. He ripped it foul.
Carlton has never hit 3 home runs in a game in the major leagues. The last White Sox to do it was Claudel Washington, 1979.
He once did the same thing for the Mets. He comes up with occasional power in a sustained way.
Now, Klutz is laying deep at third.
He is. He's playing back and not looking for the bunt. But they hit and run with Baines.
He goes. Pitch is swung on. Down the line. Base hit. Heading for the corner. Here comes Baines around third. There's interference.
Yeah, brought back.
Interference. The run will not score.
Fan touched the ball.
So a Chicago White Sox fan reaches over the wall, interferes with the ball, and prevents the winning run from crossing home plate.
Well, Carlton Fisk, it may safely be said, has emerged from his slump.
There it is one more time, just inside the line, a diving try by Klutz. Now here's the fan interference coming on. The argument is going on from Tony La Russa. There's Baines digging around second, heading for third. Could he have scored or not?
That's the argument La Russa's making, Bob.
Exactly.
Because it is a matter of umpire discretion. But the umpire made his decision immediately, and that's that.
He surely did. When the fan touched the ball, Dave Phillips at third immediately called the interference. The runners at second and third with nobody out. What a night for Carlton Fisk.
Absolutely. This is what you need. This from another angle.
There again, that ball just inside the line. Now the fan interference coming on here. How do you know that Henderson would have played the ball cleanly off the wall? Past the ball boy down the left field line, and there it is, right there. Right on again.
I'd be taking names and numbers.
You betcha.
At a time when the Sox, struggling, losing 8 out of 9, had to be picked up this was the guy to do it, as he did for the Red Sox for so many years, as he did even in that brilliant 75 World Series when he stood there waving the home run inside the foul pole.
All right, Marvis Foley, a catcher, left-handed batter, comes to the plate. The hit for Vance Law, and they're going to put him on first base. They'll walk him intentionally. I don't care who's on first right now. Carlton Fisk at second base. The winning run in Harold Baines is over at third, and the batter will be Bill Allman.
Well, the woes continue for manager Billy Martin. A 5-0 lead in this game, losing it. Ending up tying 5-5. I meant losing the lead. And now with the bases loaded here and nobody out.
And the infield, of course, is right in on the edge of the grass.
Outfielders playing up very, very shallow for the line drive.
Bottom of the 11th inning, 5-5 tie, and a chance now for Bill Allman to win it for the White Sox. That's a strike. Tentative swing on it, and it was a swing. There's the man, Harold Baines. Just missed. That's it. The White Sox win 6-5. A base hit, solid line drive into left field by Bill Allman to score Harold Baines. And so Chicago comes home. It takes a while, but home cooking finally has helped them, apparently, as they beat the Oakland A's by a score of 6-5, and the man of the hour for Chicago obviously is Carlton Fisk. So the final score tonight, the White Sox 6, the A's 5. Travel arrangements paid through, promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. ABC's Monday Night Baseball has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.